progress and concerns about governance and transparency. Insecurity remains a pressing threat, with communities across the country calling for decisive action to curb violence, kidnappings, and banditry. Meanwhile, relations with the United States are under renewed focus as both nations explore cooperation in trade, security, and diplomacy. Recent ambassadorial appointments signal Tinubu's intent to strengthen Nigeria's global presence and deepen partnerships, reflecting a broader effort to position the country strategically on the world stage.
Well, for more on this, we're joined in the studio live by Dr. Akin Fakonda, who is the Director of Research of the Afenifere, a socio-political Yoruba cultural group. He's also a public affairs, policy, and governance analyst. Dr. Akin Fakonda, thanks for joining us live on Daybreak on Arise News.
Good morning, viewers.
So many people find the country at a critical crossroad. And some have defined this as a moment of truth. There have been some saying that the narrative points that some people must have sponsored the institution of insecurity for 15 years for it to have been sustainable for 15 years. Do you think it's time to start naming the sponsors of this heinous act?
Actually, we are not going to the root of our problems at all. I served in Kano State in 1975, 50 years. In BUK, then you see swarms of small boys trying to even eat the food we are eating on the table, are majeries. Anybody who is alive in that time, no skills, no school, nothing. Between the age of 30 now, 40 and 50, they are the ones carrying the AK-47 all about. We are not going to the root of the problem. It's not to celebrate General Musa as a very good person, competent, no doubt. But rather than call sociologists and call people who really know human behavior, we want to shoot our way through this problem. I'm not convinced that we are on the right track.
What's the right track?
The right track is as I told you now, we have 50-year-olds that I witnessed who have never gone to school. Their father is in Sokoto, they are with Malam in Maiduguri or in Lafia. No parental guardian, nothing. They are just on the streets. Grew up to 40 years of age, grew up to 45 years of age. Are they just going to melt away? They can't just melt away. It's a social problem. It's not a guns problem at all. If you really want to go to the root of the problem, in my own opinion, the leaders of the North have not addressed the issue of how they promote their Majiri system. Their own children cannot be, my own child cannot be a Majiri. But they are so self-centered and they ignored all the children of the North that are not be going to school all these 50 years or more. What's going to happen? Nobody's talking about it.
Dr. Fakonda, you've really given us something to reflect on. The root of our problems and the fact that we haven't solved our political issues, which will now help us to solve the social issues that you're mentioning. So let me take you back to politics, back in 2022, before the general elections in 2023, when Afenifere endorsed Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party from the Southeast, excuse me, against candidate Bola Tinubu from the Southwest. In fact, the late Pa Ayo Adebanjo seemed to be the arrowhead of that support for Mr. Peter Obi, although we had figures like Chief Ruben Fashoranti, who supported Tinubu. When you reflect on that today, does Afenifere regret that decision to support Mr. Peter Obi? Because he did say that it was in the interest of fairness, equity, and balance for the Nigerian project, and that is important to us living as a country in unity and advancing forward.
My brethren Yorubas, they think and behave as if we are in Udua Republic, where Yorubas can be entitled It can be a Milokan, it can be our Lokan. But the Nigerian landscape belongs to everybody now. So, Obasanjo has served 8 years. And so, Professor Vice President has served another 8 years as whatever. If we want to be inclusive and bring the whole country together, it's only the Igbo that have not been president. And Afenifere, my own faction, our own faction, believes in equity and justice. Once you have rigging your way, snatching your way, and getting into position, you are not even prepared. It's clear that our president is prepared to govern from day one. Why are you appointing him? In fact, you also have a partition list ready before you assign him. If you have economic diplomacy, you also have trained them on what to have asked them to go out to achieve. But it came just one slogan, fuel subsidy gone, and then we went to sleep. Can you imagine the cost now, the ambassadors now? Do you know each one of them with their wife and children, how much business class ticket we have to pay? Can you imagine how many dollars they have to be given to the extra code? And they have less than 1 year to serve. A terrible waste of the system. If you had an orderly system where, as far as everyone wanted, Obi, nobody can doubt his capacity, nobody can doubt his competence, nobody is perfect as a human being. At that time, a word candidate for the time, the nation decided to do otherwise, and we are paying the price today, so unfortunately.
Now, you've spoken about ambassadorial appointments, and I want to ask you my next question on that. So do you think Tinubu's ambassadorial picks are based on competence or political rewards?
Well, let's have two categories. The career ambassadors, that's the peak of their career in service. They're supposed to have gone for 4 years term to serve the country properly. But they will not be hurried out. And in the next election, if Tinubu wins, some of them might be retained, but they have to be recalled again. Imagine the waste. So their careers have just been truncated. They have been lying idle for the last 2 years, just rotting away in Abuja. As for the politicians, it's just the good, the bad, and the ugly. I really cannot pick anyone seriously that is of the nature of Christopher Kolade, ambassador of High Commissioner in London those days. You cannot think of it. But the worst part is that in the next 4 months, it will take 4 months before they have been on post, because they have to agree to be ambassador before they will accept. They have to stand by when they are waiting for them to present credentials of their nomination. So the next 4 months is a waste in terms of resources, in terms of time. When you do something in a hurry, rush, you fail and fumble. It's so regrettable that we have this situation.
Yeah, Dr. Akin Fapoda, I think it's time we also reflect on model of democracy, because now there have been a lot of accusing fingers to President Tinubu on the presidential list. And we look at the Constitution, it gives in section 171 of the Constitution, it gives him that power to appoint ambassadors, high commissioners, and principal representatives in foreign mission. That's one. But when you look at the model of democracy, fundamentally, it's like it thrives on inclusion. And so that brings us to the democratic process where politicians will have invested their money and all that, regardless of their ethical standard. And now that puts the president in a kind of dilemma for a kind of political patronage. So what would another president or a better president had done in this circumstance, given this controversial situation where he's torn between appointing career diplomats, people of impeccable characters, and also falling into the pitfall of political patronage, given our model of democracy and our style of democratic process?
In all honesty, on this channel, counsel that we need to pause the political system. We are in the wrong direction. We keep going. Look, if Tinubu wins 2027 elections, all the decampees now that are decamping now, they are in line again for appointment. Once you fail or you lose election, you lose Senate, you have to be made ambassador. The INEC chairman now will also have to make ambassador. I mean, we are following money show today. We are in the wrong course of recycling these old people that are really tired. What we have now is politics of banditry. You predate, you fight your way, you become a senator, become a governor, and you just have to do all that it takes at all costs. This is not the right way to govern. We need to decentralize the power of the country. The president, we always say, is so powerful. What is the use of the power? He can't sit more than on a bed at a time. He cannot ride more than one jet. What is the big deal about this power that somebody cannot be reasonable? But we are suffering. Look how much money has been spent on kinetics. How much is a bullet, as General Musa said? You fire a bullet, how much does it cost? All the soldiers are in the bush. We are not talking about education. Nobody is talking about those. Nobody is talking about artificial intelligence, which the world is embracing now. We are just living on predatory life for survival. We need to really pause and spend the next 1 year to discuss the way we are living. But like they said, so are we together? How do we be together? When we do that, then all of us will have a sense of inclusion. And the best minds will volunteer. You don't need to spend 100 million to get a form.
Yes.
You don't need that. We need to reform the system fundamentally and strategically.
You mentioned one of the brilliant minds from the Southwest, Chief Bola Ige, the late Chief Bola Ige, who died in a very, very terrible circumstances. I'm not even sure whether his killers have been found. But let me look at Afenifere again, your organization, whose ideology is based on that of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, that advocated a philosophy of fairness, justice, and national well-being. So for some time now, it would seem that Bola Tinubu is emerging or trying to emerge the Yoruba leader in the mold of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Does Afenifere see him in that light?
Well, the Yorubas are very, let me not say sophisticated. Anybody can say whatever he wished. In the minds and hearts of Yoruba people, we know who is selfless, we know who is intellectual, we know who loves himself as he loves the others. It is true that our president now engineered himself. He used all means possible, including Muslim ticket, including splitting Afenifere into two. But Afenifere, we were 11 in the executive of the Afenifere properly. Only 2 defected to Tinubu's side. The 9 of us are still intact in the Adebanjo fashion. It's a fact. So Afenifere is, we believe in welfareism. Freedom for all, life more abundant is the motto of Afenifere, and it stands. When Urbanation now because Tinubu has seized the political space, and can anybody say this? And Awolowo will have produced blueprints in advance of coming. We know what's happened in 1979. UPN states were ready to govern under Awolowo direction. The same thing allowed for democracy too. But this haphazard governance and waking up and doing things, subsidy or no subsidy and all that, it's not Awolowo's time. Nigerians should know it. Yorubas also know it too.
So you're essentially saying that President Tinubu was not ready to govern, and is not ready to govern, and is not doing well.
It's not me saying it. We already have 2 years of it. It's not me saying it. The facts are there. We now have evidence, empirical evidence. If I were to remove subsidy, I would have prepared all the palliatives in advance, automatically. How many CNG buses are on the road now? How many CNG buses? The only signature project of President now is the road from Lagos to Calabar, the road from Sokoto to Badagry. But in Western Yoruba areas, where are the roads? Osun State is down now. The governor is being strangulated. Is that an Awolowo mantra, to strangulate your own area too? Osun State is down. It's dying. And Tinubu is watching. It's unfortunate.
Now, based on what you've just said, it has become quite apparent that public trust has been lost along the way. What actions do you think could be taken to regain and rebuild to boost the public trust once again?
The patriots visited President Tinubu last year. They affirmed that they want to do economics, that politics will come later. They have done economics now, they aspire tax reform. The tax reform, we are going to see a lot of crying when it comes to effect, but let's leave that aside. I still plead for President Tinubu to change gear. We have to look at the politics of Nigeria. He said, economy first, politics later. This next year is for politics. And the blueprint is there. It's just to send a bill to National Assembly to say, authorize for a new constitution to be debated and agreed on. By May, it could be done. By October 1, it could be effective. We should not go into the next election with this predatory system that we have now. Let him even plan to retire. 4 years enough as president of your country now. Must it be Paul Biya of Cameroon? It doesn't have to be. How many months did the Murtala rule the country, and we see the impact everywhere? How many months? Awolowo actually ruled Western region only up to 1959. He ruled from 54 to 59. And we still have the impact up to today. So if we can just bequeath a new polity on Nigeria in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, all these things should be wiped away in my own recollection.
Now, as the ambassadorial designates, now we understand that they'll be facing the committee on foreign affairs, foreign relations for their screening, and afterwards they'll be taking their oath of office. So let's just tie down that as they prepare for their tour of duty, bearing in mind that Nigeria's foreign influence dwindled within the last 2 years of not appointing ambassadors, they're creating gaps in our economic diplomacy, citizenship diplomacy, and also shuttle diplomacy. What should be our main diplomatic focus as they prepare for their tour of duty?
In natural fact, I'm not privy to any document that says this is the thrust of Nigerian foreign policy. We know the time of Ike Wachuku when it was economic diplomacy during Uganda years. We knew the thrust of the foreign minister.
Yeah, sorry, the reason why I was asking this is that I read the Renewed Hope foreign policy and it was a bit untidy, a bit scattered. So that's why I was asking what should be our main foreign policy thrust as the ambassador prepare for their next tour?
Well, we are aligned to China a little bit. America is fighting back about it. We don't know whether we are non-aligned or aligned. There is no definitive position on Nigeria's thrust. Africa used to be central focus on Nigeria policy. We don't know anymore. Foreign affairs, who is he now? I'm not asking, I know his name, but as he made the major speech, as NIA in Lagos be committed to produce a blueprint on the trust, we are indebted, we are in loans with China. America is now putting us backward. They want to replace Chinese in mining. What have we decided on that as a country? What's our interest?
Okay.
We have not decided. So again, in the next 1 month or two, while they are seeking agreement for the postings, there has to be a small panel with Nigerian Institute of International Affairs to articulate a coherent navigation between the West and the East, the Chinese and the American. But it's not clear now at all.
Okay, let me take you up on what you said about the Constitution. You talked about the Patriots and their proposal, which you believe the president should take up or listen to. Are you implying that the current National Assembly Constitution review makes no sense, is not valid?
They want to amend the Constitution in 83 places. If you have a clause that is used and you are a stone, and you want to patch it up in 80 places, why not just throw it aside and write an elegant constitution? We have a draft already. Nigerian constitution should not be more than 20 pages, federal. Relation between the federal and the regions or states. Then each region or state should go and craft its own constitution. Nigeria is not one nation, but we are in the same territory, no problem about it. Let everyone go and do what it suits them under Nigerian territory. So we need to have a federal draft. We need to have a state or regional draft. The Yorubas are different from Fulanis. The Hausas are there for Fulanis.
Yes.
It's nothing negative at all. We are just different. And even resources is different. North is farming. The south is crude oil. Middle belt is solid minerals. Even to focus on that,
Okay.
it will be different.
So that is Dr. Kina Fakunda. Thank you very much, who is the director of...
I completely agree with him. Thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate it. Please don't forget to double tap on the screen device to like, and also, or click on the three dots on the right top to like as well. And yeah, please continue to like the video. I beg. I have a couple of videos to share with us, and then we're going to talk.
Today, as we continue our conversation on the future of Nigeria, I have an eminent Nigerian cleric who has also had significant involvement in Nigeria's politics. He is the General Overseer of Living Spring Chapel International. He's also the host of Turning Point Global, an online church that has members from over 100 nations, and is currently the National Director in charge of politics and governance in the PFN. I'd like to welcome the former Deputy Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly, Pastor Femi Emmanuel. Pastor, you are welcome to Inside Sources.
Thank you very much, Lalo. This is a wonder. I appreciate what you are doing here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So since it's your first time on Inside Sources, I'm going to ask you my custom question. If you look at where Nigeria is today,
Yes.
do you think that we are heading in the direction of that greatness that many of us believe is the destiny of our country?
Not at all.
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
Today, as we continue, I'd like to welcome the former Deputy Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly, Pastor Femi Emmanuel. Pastor, you are welcome to Inside Sources.
Thank you very much, Lalo. This is a wonder. I appreciate what you are doing here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So since it's your first time on Inside Sources, I'm going to ask you my custom question. If you look at where Nigeria is today,
Yes.
do you think that we are heading in the direction of that greatness that many of us believe is the destiny of our country?
Not at all. We are heading in the wrong direction. We are taking one step forward and 10 steps backward. We are not heading in the right direction at all. This was not the dream of the forefathers of Nigeria.
So what do you think is wrong with the direction that we are taking now, and what can we do to fix it?
Our problem as a country is foundational. Nigeria problem is foundational, is fundamental. The scripture says, if the foundation is wrong, what can the righteous do? Nigeria was structured to fail ab initio. From the British colonial masters, I always ask people, Google and search for Mr. Harold Smith's confession on Nigeria. I'm sure you must have also done that before.
Yes.
That old man who said his conscience can't let him rest and go to his grave, and confess how the British colonial master mandated the British officers that were here, and he was one of them, to make sure that the power, now two things, the census was corrupted, manipulated, and given the largest population to the north, and that the headship, the election of 1959 prior to the independence should go to the north. It was a special directive from the Home Office. So from the beginning, the country was handed over to the north. And that is the basis of our problem. And if you go back to history, the founding fathers, Chief Obafemi Awolowo of blessed memory, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Sir Ahmadu Bello. You know, Nigeria was a negotiated country. And what was negotiated was a federal structure. Even then, Shiva Awolowo said the statement is an evergreen statement, and Nigeria is a mere geographical expression. And Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe said, look, we are the same, we could run together. And you remember what Sir Ahmadu Bello said? He said, no, we are not the same. You are an Igbo from the east, a Christian. I am a Fulani, a Muslim from the north. That we are different. We can only manage our differences. It is that differences we mismanage. When the coup of 1966 came and suspended the federal constitution and slammed on us the unitary system, which we are still battling with today. What we call constitution today is not the Nigerian constitution. It's a unitary system, military decree, which we are lying to ourselves about. So the problem of Nigeria is foundational. And until we return to who we were before the military intervention, we will not get ourselves right.
Excellent point, Pastor. And I'm very glad that you've also come in touch with what Aaron Smith said. I had a guest about a couple months ago who actually met Mr. Smith, recorded him on video in London, and you know, they put out his book. So everything that you've said about him is very correct. As a matter of fact, why those Nigerian nationalists were meeting in London, their hotel rooms were booked. They booked their hotel rooms. They were monitoring them. So clearly, so clearly the foundation was very shaky. But even then, we ourselves now, when we took over, we made the situation worse by the breakdown of law and order that led to civil war and then eventual military. So my next question is that, so what are we supposed to do? So now we've been independent for 65 years, Pastor. So can we still be holding, the British folks responsible for what has happened to us?
Mr. Laulu, you and I have just said, once the foundation is wrong, there is nothing you build on it that will stand. We've been independent now for 65 years. If we continue this way, for the next 65 years, we will still be like this. When a train derails, it doesn't just go running in the bush. Nothing makes a wrong right until you correct it. That's why I believe that what the patriots are saying, Chief Emeka Ayauko and co. That's the way. This one, we are just buying time, we are just frustrating ourselves. We don't trust ourselves. Mr. Laulu, we could be one country, but we are not one nation. Every time I see you and your guests, I see Okimbaloye, I see many of you, anytime anyone begins to say, we are a nation, I tune off. We are not a nation. We could be a country. I mean, we could agree to live together, which was what the original constitution was all about, federalism. It is good to be together for size, for economy, for military power. But to say that, look, Google, again, I will be asking you to do a lot of Google and find out the meaning of a nation. A nation is a community of people with the same ancestry, the same tradition, the same culture, the same value system, the same vision, the same mission. Laulu, are we that? We were different nations, different kingdoms, before the British came to colonize us and forced us together in an amalgamation of evil. And you know that we were amalgamated for their own commercial purposes. And when the military came, they entrenched that modernization. They entrenched it on us. Don't forget that the military were on us for about 33 years. It was a whole generation. And when the military general, from Murtala Mohammed to late Muhammadu Buhari, to late not late, to Ibrahim Badamasi, to Abacha, to Absalam Abubakar. Those were the main military powers that ruled over us, apart from the 2.5 years of Obasanjo after the death of
and then General Gowon.
General Gowon that started it. But you see that after Gowon, all the other, and of course, in the military, it is obeys the last command. And look at those generals I mentioned. They were all Muslim Fulanis from the north. So they took time to entrench Nigeria and gave it to the north. And when I say the north, gave it to the Fulanis. That is the truth. It may be a very hard truth to say, but that is the truth. And except we go to the truth and find out this is our situation, what can we do? Then we will continue to just be in vicious cycle. So Nigeria we have been entrenched in an unending crisis. And if you know the history of the Fulanis, you know, an invasion, Usman Danfodio invaded the north, subdued the Hausas. The Hausa is a subdued nation. Now, there is no major city in the north where you don't have an emir. And go and find out, sir, there is no Hausa emir. There are Fulani emirs. And what is the problem we are having today? This insurgency, this crisis, is it not the headers, the Fulanis, extremists? It is all tied together. We have peace and have progress if we return to what we were before their intervention. So, saying we belong, why should we keep on blaming the British? It is the foundation they have laid that we are still on. And nothing will make a wrong right. Correct?
I agree with you, Pastor. I was trying to say that we have had enough time to fix our problem. That was the point I was trying to make, you know, which is why I will now ask you that. So what should we do?
There is no amount, what can we do if we don't fix it from the foundation? There is no, I've listened to so many arguments on TV. I just said, no. We have to go back. Once you have a foundation, a structural failure, it's different from when one window pane is broken, you change it, your plumber, the WC is broken, you call the plumber to fix it. But when it's a structural failure, you have to go to the foundation. That's why all these constitutional amendments, you can't amend the lie. We're just wasting time and buying time. You can't amend the lie. I want to ask you, where did we sit down to make Nigeria 36 states with Abuja as the capital? Where did we sit down? The country that was negotiated was 3 regions: the north, the west, the east. 1963, by plebiscite, Midwest came. Where did we sit down and draw the boundary and then gave 19 states to the north, 774 local government, majority to the north, 8,800 ward, majority to the north? Look, there is no bill that can pass in that National Assembly if the north does not say so. Because the north, as we have it today, is the kingmaker. They don't hate the north. I love the Hausas, I love the Fulani, but we must tell the truth. So anybody that is talking about fixing Nigeria, that is overlooking the foundation and saying, let's just go, it's not possible. It's not possible. I'm trying to find to the patriot and some other a good Nigeria that are saying, look, we have looked into this situation, except I am a pastor today by the grace of God, and a general overseer for that matter. And I can tell you with all honesty that even God Almighty did not make Nigeria one. No, it was the colonial master that forced us together, and the military came and reinforced it. Except we untie ourselves, we are going to be played. It's going to be a long night.
Very, very interesting points that you are giving us, and you know, I agree, you know, entirely with your view that we have to fix this. And one of the things that I am also trying to do is to raise awareness about what has to happen. Now, so for instance, I have great expectations that now that you have somebody like the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the office, he was, I mean, before he got there, he was sounding just like yourself and myself that this thing has to be restructured. Now, would it not be a disappointment if President Tinubu does not do this thing, in your view? Because it's one of the things that I'm holding out hope that he can lead the effort to restructure this country.
Yeah, President Bola Tinubu, to his credit, before he became president, was a strong advocate of true federalism. That's what he was known for.
Yes.
True federalism. But, you know, he said he has ambition to rule.
Yes.
By the grace of God, he's there now. But he's in a very tight corner, Mr. Olawu. I doff my hat for him. He's a courageous man. I see bold and courageous steps he has taken so far, including the latest appointment of the Minister of Defense.
Yes.
Which everybody seems to have applauded.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So as subsidy is gone, that takes boldness to do.
True.
Because even the military generals and the previous president, everybody, the subsidy was killing us, but who has the will to do it? Because the powers that were behind subsidy will swallow you up. But look at the boldness, look at the courage in many of his decisions. He's not an angel. Nigerian president is said to be one of the most powerful presidents in the world. That's why people are killing themselves to be president. So let's have strong states and regions, and let us have the president there to do the other thing we have mentioned. That is the only way out. And that is what he should do. If I see him today, I might ask for advice. I know it's not going to be easy, because those that are benefiting from this crisis, those that are benefiting from the problem we want to hold on to it. The National Assembly we have cannot do it. Now, they will tell you, you have your representative in the National Assembly. Go and talk to them. Between you and I, are they really representing us? Those who got there, and the first bill they passed was how to feather their nest, the constituency project, and the governors. Everybody is feeding fat except the masses. This madness must stop. All our children are japa. It's like Nigeria is a burning roof. It's like a nation that is coming down. How many of us will japa? At what age? Those who japa, what did they have to come over there? So the earlier all of us begin, look, we don't need the next election. What we need is not the next thing Nigeria needs is not the election. The next thing Nigeria needs is to fit this nation. Is to fit this nation the way we are talking it now. Let's sit down, bring out the 2014 constitutional conference document, think how we did, let's see what is still relevant, let's see what. That's the way to go. And let us have a referendum. You have a constitution that does not have a referendum. It's just to tie the other people down to the apron of the ruler. I said, look, this is not Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is Federal Republic of the North. And that is the truth. Very hard truth, but that is the truth.
Very interesting. Even though we seem to have gotten the idea of rotational presidency, and it seems to be working well. But, you know, what do you think about that?
Is it working?
Oh, well, at least it's now the turn of the South. You know, it was the...
But look, I'm not a politician. I've done that 32 years ago. I'm now a leader of men. Look at what happened to PDP. Look at that crisis. If it's working, I mean, there is this gentleman agreement. 8 years in the North, 8 years to the South.
Yes.
And President Muhammad Buhari did 8 years.
Yes.
So by that gentlemanly agreement, he should go to the South.
Yes.
Because you saw another man came up and said, I still want to do, which was what brought crisis to PDP. They have not solved that problem till today. So how do you say it work? It's not working. Because that eight years shit is not it's not in the constitution. It's a gentleman agreement which he said, look, some people will tell you, as long as you are in Nigeria, you are qualified to vote, which is what is in the constitution. But there is this gentleman agreement which he broke, and that he broke PDP up to today.
He did.
And everybody's talking about becoming one party. Is it becoming one party state? Things are just happening. I mean, getting worse every day. We can't continue like this.
You can't. You can't. I agree entirely. But let's move on to another topic that I wanted you to talk about.
Right.
So the insecurity, the killings in the country, and what had happened recently when we had the unusual occasion of an American president saying, "Hey, what's going on there?" You know.
Yeah.
So what's your take about the intervention of Mr. Donald Trump in our? Well, in fact, he said that there is genocide going on in Nigeria.
Yes. Mr. Lalu, nobody can deny that there is genocide going on in Nigeria, real time. And it's not just that today. It's been on for a long time. Those of us in the South, we may not feel the heat, but our brothers in the Northeast, Northwest, to a large extent, North Central, are under attack. You see, even if you are not there in Maiduguri, in Yobe, in Plateau, you see the number of people buried every day. You saw the cry out of Reverend Ezekiel Dachoma and several others. You saw those footages, everyday cry, everyday death, everyday shooting. So Donald Trump tweets was only a wake-up call. It's been there. And you know, America pride themselves that, look, we cannot open our eyes and let such practice be been on for long. Whoever say there is no genocide in Nigeria is being economical with the truth. It's not being honest. It's been going on. Killing, especially Christians. It's not only Christians that are killed. Muslims are being killed. But initially when Boko Haram started, it was focused on Christians. Later, some Muslims too are being killed, but if you find that, if you go and profile, every life is Muslim and Christian. Every Nigerian life is important.
Yes.
And it pains my heart, whether it's a Christian or Muslim or non-believer or free thinker, nobody make life, nobody should take another person's life. But we have a group of people who felt the rest of us are infidels. The rest of us are Catholics. If you don't agree with that, their own Islamic ideology, you either submit or you are taken off. It's been there. So Donald Trump only was saying the obvious. And of course, being an American, being the kind of person he is, we are not going to allow this to continue. I fully agree with them. There are those that are saying, you are a patriotic leader, you are a patriotic Nigerian. If Donald Trump should come, there is no nation American has ever gone that were left the same. And there are a lot of all kinds of theories outside there. It's coming for our minerals, it's coming for our oil, it's coming to destabilize us. If I heard him well, President Donald Trump did not say it's coming to take over Nigeria and annex it to America. He did not say it's coming to take over our presidency and remove our president. I didn't hear him say that. He said if Nigerian system or government is not able to face out these killers and stop them, America will not mind coming to fish out these killers, these bloodthirsty killers, these ones that are killing with impunity and nobody is able to restrain them. And America will not open their eyes. Do you know how many thousands have been killed? Thousands. I mean, when we are not in a war. So if I heard him well, he didn't say he's coming to take over our government. He did not say he's coming to take out our president. He said if Nigerian government will not be able to stop them, and from all that you have seen, have we been able to stop them? Have we been able to secure life?
No.
We don't be able to do so. So if we take an outsider, a Donald Trump, to help us, I think so be it. And I think the government should not shy away. This thing is overwhelming. The truth is that we have been overwhelmed. Nigerian government has been overwhelmed. Nigerian people have been overwhelmed, except those who just want to be dishonest, except those who also want to Sharia. You know the problem with Nigeria? We have a country where you have two laws side by side. The North is the penal code, Sharia. Sharia that tells you should not abuse the prophet, and if you do that, you are killed. And how do you have a country, you have two laws side by side. I've mentioned another country like that to me. That one is Sharia. We are criminal code, and we say it's running together. We are just being untruthful. We are just being critical. Everybody is careful not to offend the full animal. I watch the former president of Kaduna L5 that says a full animal never forgive. A full animal will take you out. And I watch the Bauchi state governor. I'm mentioning this name, you can find that it's in the public space.
Yeah.
That said, a full animal everywhere is his country. If anywhere he moves to, that is his country. He doesn't respect boundaries. He doesn't follow your constitution because they believe that the whole place is given to them by their God. That's what we are fighting. That's what we are up against. And it's an ideology. Can't be pacified. When I see negotiation with the terrorists, do you negotiate with terrorists? No, Americans say you don't negotiate with terrorists to take them out. You don't negotiate. It's an ideology. The leaders, why they are on earth, to further the cause of their religion. And except you accept their own religious way of life, you are an infidel. An infidel is killed. If an infidel is killed, there is reward for them in their paradise. And if they die killing an infidel, there are 7 virgins waiting for them up there. Now, can you think of such a demented orientation? And they believe it. Now, how do you fight a man that is ready to die? So when people say, no, diversity, the beauty of our diversity, I said diversity with whom? With people who want to take over. They are out to take over, brought in from the Sahel region to take over. And they don't believe in democracy. So how do you sit down and discuss with such people? Well, I don't have a problem with them. If that is what they want to do, let's leave them to do it. I watch the Emma of Kano.
So are you talking of SLS, Sanusi Lamido?
Yes, Sanusi Lamido. I watch him, and he's still in the public place. He said one time, that was when I knew this man will have a problem. He said, if you take Northeast and Northwest as a country, he said it will be the poorest country on earth. And if you take Northeast and Northwest out of Nigeria, in no time Nigeria will be like Singapore. I said they will soon go after this man. And you saw what happened. Because everyone that wants to say such a hard thing, and he's the full animal, is an Emma was a prince then, being vocal, being who he is. And that is the truth. If Sharia, they can't live under a democracy. They don't believe in democracy. They can't live in a democracy. They want to live in a Sharia state. If that is what they want, give it to them. But let the rest of us also live our life. And let us have a way to coordinate at the top.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One last question that I wanted to respond to very quickly. So you are the director of politics and governance for the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria.
Yes.
What ought to be the role of the church, as a religious body? A lot of Nigerians, we are religious people, whether Christians or Muslims.
Yes.
How can the church be an agent of the kind of change that we so desire in our country?
Thank you very much. Nigeria is a highly religious country, but highly ungodly. Religiosity and godliness, they are two different things. You talk about the church now, and this is the burden I carry. Look, God took me to politics 32 years ago, 1991, 1992, 1993. I saw that my eyes open. It's like a veil just left to see what Nigerian state is. That is the passion and the burden I carry. What I saw in politics cannot be seen from the pulpit. The church is a sleeping giant. The church does not know the power they have. The power of democracy, the power of democracy is people. People. The church has people. The church has spread. The church has intellectual people. The church even have money. But the church is a sleeping giant. We all grew up as Christians to be told politics is dirty. Politics is evil. Don't go near politics. They will spoil you. If you want to go make heaven, leave politics for politicians. Leave politics for politicians is what has brought us to this level. Next to God's power is political power. Next to God's power is governance. And you say leave politics for politicians. Yoruba adage says, if you leave your clothes for a madman, he will turn it into shreds. Leave politics for the politician. Politics is dirty. Politics is not dirty, but we have left it in the hand of dirty people. We left it in the hand of corrupt people. And that's why we find ourselves where we are. The church should salvage this nation. We have the population, we have the spread, we have the intellectual capability, we even have the money, but we are politically asleep. And that is the problem the church has. And I keep saying to the church, we have prayed enough. All this, let us pray, let us pray. We will still be praying. But we have prayed to a level that God has answered our prayer. God has answered our prayer in this country. You say how? By giving you, look, a denomination, a political, a Pentecostal church, one in this country, has over 11 million members. Parishes and branches everywhere. Some other churches, I don't want to be mentioning them on air, also have massive. But you know, the Christian community in Nigeria is an imprisoned community. We, their general overseer, and I'm not counting myself out. We, their general overseer, had imprisoned them. And you know, the church is the shepherd and the sheep. The sheep will never see anything that the shepherd has not made it to see. Especially with the Pentecostal brand. It is we Pentecostals that call our overseer Daddy and Papa and our Lord, and we follow them like a sheep, follow the shepherd. So I call on the general overseer, give a new orientation. Let's tell our members, politics is not evil. That was a mistake of the past. Politics is not evil. You know, in Nigeria, there are two major religions, apart from the traditional religion, Islam and Christianity. While Christianity believes that there is a separation between the states and the church, the other religion believes that you acquire the governance, the coercive and the economic power of the government to enforce the religion. That's our problem. So the church must wake up. I told the church leaders, I said, can we get a month, just a month, only 1 month, to reorientate our members? Let them know that they have civil responsibility to this country. They are not just there praying and hoping for when Jesus will come the second time. God has already given up. Look, I became a Christian 53 years ago, 1972. I got born again in First Class Gospel Church. Till now, 53 years. Since that 53 years till now, I met the church praying when I got into the church. The church is still praying till today. And I said to you, when you continue to do the same thing the same way and hoping for a different result, that is the definition of madness. If you pray for 50-something years, some people have been there before me, 40 years, 30 years, and the thing is deteriorating instead of getting better. Shouldn't something say to you, we are missing something? Now, you can't change the system you are not involved in. So let the church fathers know, unless you are involved. The Bible says we are the salt of the earth. You don't put a salt on the shelf to make a difference in what you are cooking. You get involved and it changes the character.
Absolutely.
The Bible says when the righteous are in power, it is when, not if. So if the church will take themselves away from governance, I am not saying the general overseers to go partisan. I can't go partisan. General overseer cannot go partisans. Our daddies, whose name I don't want to be mentioning, can't go partisans. But God has given us these people as members and they submit to us. Let's orientate them. Let's ask them, go back to your street, go back to your ward and join. Politics is grassroots. And that's another thing. Even non-Christian, there are patriotic. Can I say this? There are patriotic Nigerians. There are Nigerians who won't steal in and outside of church, even from Muslims, even from men and Muslims that are not seeing other people as infidel. There are good Nigerians inside this country, outside of this country, who have who have the passion, who have the intellect, who have the ability, who won't steal, that can fix this nation. But the system we are playing now will never allow them to emerge. Because the system is a political system. And in Nigeria, democracy is only on paper. Democracy is supposed to be the government of the people, by the people, for the people. That's not in Nigeria. In Nigeria, political parties are owned. Mr. Olaolu, as brilliant, as cerebral as you are, as civilized as you are, if you want to be the councillor, the smallest, you must have a godfather. Because some people own the structure. So you can, if you don't have credible delegates, you can't have credible candidates.
Wow.
If we vote, the structure we are running now, if we vote 100 times, we'll be voting for the same people. Because it is the party that we produce who to vote for.
Yeah.
This is what many Nigerians don't know. Don't know it at all. Many Nigerians don't even know it at all. Even the youth. Look at the population of the youth in this country.
Huge.
But you can't take anything on social media. You can't say anything agitating. You can't say anything speaking big grammar. You can't change it running away. No, we got to sit. We want to move to the grassroots, overwhelm them at the ward, and produce delegates that will vote for credible candidates. Then Nigeria will be making headway.
Thank you so much, Pastor Femi Emmanuel, for your very deep insights today. Thank you for your voice.
I agree with him to a large extent. I am standing on let's divide the country. There's no way we can thrive with the North. I'm sorry. I am very, very sorry, guys. All this, let's stay together. It has not worked. Oh my God, it has not worked. Learning what I've come to know. Oh my God. Let the North be in their corner. If they want to, whatever way they want to call it, rewriting the constitution, let's have referendum there. In case anybody don't want day, may they day their day. It's not hard. May they day their day. Do you understand? There's no need forcing people together that have different ideas. Do you know how backward Nigeria is now? Because you literally have illiterates, terrorists, bandits running things in Nigeria. Look at how low Nigeria has fallen. Become the most hated president in the whole of the world, not even Africa. Let's not pretend though. Let's call it what it is. I think when we start to own these truths to ourselves, then we can begin to work out something for all of us, because the way it is right now is not working. There's no way you are going to convince me that having a neighbor as an Islamic terror is okay. No, it's not going to happen. No matter how much they say they are moderate, it's the moderate ones that are not practicing the real Islam. It is the moderate ones that are not practicing it the way they ought to practice it. That's why they call them, they are not Muslim enough. So please, why are we fooling? Why are we pretending to ourselves? I'm not against anybody. I'm not against, please, you have every right to practice your religion as you please. It's okay. You have every right, and I support you fully. The same way you should respect my own right to do it the way I want, whether I choose to serve a God or not. If I see a wood I want to serve, you have to respect it. We can't continue like this, so we cannot. We need to be telling ourselves the truth. All this one, whoever is going to come into Nigeria, I don't know how it's going to happen. The person better be talking about how we're going to move forward. I mean, everybody divide, enter their papa compound. It's just that simple. Don't come and be telling me let's try and work together. No, please. We can have respect from a distance. I respect you. I will never go to the north. I will never. Because I don't know when I reach there. Now maybe I go wear cloth. The cloth not cover well. The isba. Next thing, bam. No, I don't want. I go no say okay, that corner, I know they reach there. Because my way of life and their, pari passu, fit each other. Make we not pretend, not be by force. Make they day their day so that they can enjoy their Sharia in peace, enjoy their Hizbah in peace. What's the need for the agitation? There's no need. Make they day their day so they can enjoy their gold all by themselves. It's simple. I beg go. Let's be telling each other the truth here. I have some more videos to share. Oh my God, I didn't even know I didn't pull up my Twitter. Guys, please bear with me while I pull this up. I beg, it's too much. It's how many times? What we want to do? How many things? Oh, this what's the name of this person? All right, let's listen to this. I beg, if you have not yet liked to, please help me to like. Help me to like. Oh.
About 2 days ago, we saw that the American legislatures entered Nigeria and they were accompanied by the US ambassador to Nigeria and some members of the United Nations. They said they came for a fact-finding mission. So there are so many questions I'm going to explain that people have been asking about the fact-finding mission, because a lot of people are asking, are they just doing a fact-finding mission? What about the ones that they have in the US? So they don't have a fact or a proof of what they were talking about before. So these are the questions we're going to look to in this video. And when they got home, Rep Moore posted this, that I came to Nigeria in the name of the Lord and on behalf of the American people, just ending a very productive congressional visit to Nigeria. We had rounds of meetings with the Nigerian government and people on the ground, including stops in Benue State. More details to come. Happy Sunday. God is great. So this was what he posted. But before we go forward, you see, in life, there is always a negative and positive aspect of it. This was Boris Johnson, former Prime Minister of UK. He was in Imo State, Nigeria, where he was talking literally nonsense, okay? Because someone who do not understand a nation, or maybe they really understand and they are playing game. And this is what Boris Johnson have to say, that we export huge quantities of whiskey, others to Nigeria in exchange of crude oil, bread and human resources. This is the mockery of the 21st century. He is saying that we imported or exported from Britain into Nigeria. We exported whiskey, alcoholic, drink into Nigeria.
Wow.
And Nigeria gave us crude oil and the most smartest people in Nigeria to work in Britain.
Okay.
I hope you understand the statement.
I'm telling
what the statement
you.
implies is that this is a trade by barter. Only thing we have to offer Nigeria is whiskey. And what Nigeria is giving to us is crude oil. So Nigeria is giving us
brains,
the product, both the bitumen, everything, the wax, the gas. Nigeria is giving us everything. And above that, their natural resources, they are also giving us their human resources. But all we have to give them back is whiskey. Like, after listening to what he said, I didn't blame him. I blame people around there. If I am a governor of a state and Boris Johnson made such statement, I will just allow him to finish what he's saying. After the whole thing, I will also pick up the mic and put him to where he belongs. But our leaders are always afraid of diplomatic problem, afraid of even terrorists. They are afraid of flies. They're afraid of anything. Why? Because they are greedy and they don't want anything to touch their political power. The political power that they are about to lose perpetually. Anyway, now, let's get back to the American legislators that came to Nigeria for fact-finding mission. Now, if you check the videos, I have done about 22 videos about Trump's planned intervention on Nigeria. And the last 2 videos I did about it, I was talking about the due process. You know, when Trump made that statement, immediately Department of War, they announced that they are ready. Go and check it on their website. They said, we are ready to enter Nigeria. So everything was set. But it's important that a government have maybe a special advisor or international relation, all those things. So Trump was advised that, yes, we know you are going to do this. We know you really want to stop this killing in Nigeria, but let us follow this process so that they will not say that you just entered Nigeria without investigation. And ever since then, you will see the House now had a hearing where they even invited that Benue Archdiocese Bishop came to America. After that, the House met again. Then after the House met, now they now have appropriation meeting. After the appropriation meeting, they issue visa restriction. Pay attention though. After issuing visa restriction and naming the terrorist sponsors, banning them from entering America, they now went on fact-finding mission to Nigeria. See, there is nothing America is fact-finding in Nigeria. They are just trying to follow due process. They knows what is going on. So if anybody tells you that they are looking for something, they just want to find out the truth. You are wasting your time. They just want to let us fulfill the law so that people will not say, were you in Nigeria? Trump asked you to investigate. Did you go to Nigeria? You remember Trump, asked this Rep. Moore to lead the investigation team about this, right? So people may ask him, how did you conclude when you did not visit Nigeria? So I'm trying to let you know what is going on. These people actually know what they are doing, not that they don't know what is going on. The world knows that there is a mass killing in Nigeria. That is the truth. There is a mass killing in Nigeria, and it's not stopping soon because the government are responsible for it. They visited Benue State Governor and Catholic bishops boycotted Benue State government house. They refused to go with them until they finished there before Remote now came to meet them personally and also, take their own story, of which they have taken it over since a year ago when the Benue State Archdiocese Bishop came to America, went to America there and submitted the whole proof and everything, and he was asked to come and defend it, and he came, he defended it. So this is a very long journey that they have started since a year ago or thereabout. So don't let anybody to deceive you that American government are in Nigeria, maybe this, maybe that. Anyway, just in 14 days, right? Yes, that is what I was told, that after this report, that the response from the American government is just 14 days. So within 14 days, we are going to see a response, either a response that will provoke the powers that be in Nigeria, or a response that will make them to feel uncomfortable, or a response that will make them to feel comfortable. I personally, I'm still waiting for the response after this, because this fact-finding mission is the last investigation process and everything. So let's wait for what they are going to say. But I know that these people knows the truth. The truth is in their palm about what is going on in Nigeria. So that is by the way. And I was on Arise News where Rufai Oseni and other crews were discussing about this issue of US coming to Nigeria to do investigation, and also talking more about the coup that they attempted in Benin Republic and how Tinubu violated the law. Take a listen.
The NSA receiving a delegation from the United States on a fact-finding mission to Nigeria. We've been talking about this issue since that infamous post by President Donald Trump and the threat of coming with guns ablazing to Nigeria if things are not fixed. Your take on these stories?
Okay, real quickly. I totally condemn every coup, and kudos to the Nigerian forces that went out there to quell the coup. It's not today that Nigeria has been protecting the democracy of West Africa and Africa in general, and kudos to our soldiers. But the bone of contention that Dr. Abadi picked out is, did they do it legally? Because there's a proviso in Section 5 of the Constitution that talked about the president notifying the Senate. Was the Senate notified? And that's why people are now drawing comparisons with the case of Niger. Because in the case of Niger, we all saw the leak that happened, that Nigeria was already preparing a strike, and then the matter came to the Senate, and the Senate advised against it. But what we saw here is that all of a sudden President Tinubu, after the fact, just announced that Nigerian troops had been there, and they had quelled the coup and uprising, which we support. But the way it was done. So the question is, will President Tinubu now come back to tell the Senate? Because there's also a proviso when you read through Section 5 of the Constitution that talks about that the president can do it, and I'm sure that's where the government will hide under. That the president can do it if it's a limited operation, if it's impinges on national security. I don't think they'll be able to prove that, but maybe they will prove that, because it's so close to home, they impinge on national security. And in the next 7 days, maybe now they will now formally make an appeal to the Senate. But the most important question is, and a lot of people are asking this, why did it go through the Senate for the case of Niger? Is it because of cultural ties? Why is that the Senate questioned the case of Niger? Because prior to even the strikes in Niger, there were cases of protests in the north. So look at that. But let's go back to it. In as much as I condemn coup, is Talon a saint? No. And you see, the reason for the coups in these African countries and why an average watcher of television today might support those coups, despite the fact that I condemn the idea, and why I condemn the idea of a coup is that once you start, you don't know where to stop. Yeah. Everybody that has force now can take power. Even Yahoo boys and criminals can take power.
Welcome, Michael.
But the question is,
welcome,
my brother.
African
leaders not even behaving like Yahoo boys in the first place?
So,
look at Talon. It was just on Saturday. Talon passed, and the National Assembly was probably Robertson, passed a law to extend the presidential term to 7 years. Anyway, Talon will not be a beneficiary. But the most important part we should look at about that law is the 25-30-man Senate seat that pretty much second guesses what the lower house does. There are indications that Talon might want to put himself there to be able to check this is anointed candidate minister. And Talon had been very high-handed, like Ouattara. You see, when I even look at the hypocrisy of ECOWAS and they say the volunteer force, and I'm seeing Côte d'Ivoire in there. Côte d'Ivoire, with Alassane Ouattara, that has violated democratic tenets, that has committed this act of state-titism in power, that because most of his preferred successors died, like Hamid Bakayoko and the likes, he decided to stay on the power. He stayed there for like 16 years. Is it countries like Togo? Togo did the same with the constitution. They've made the role of the president ceremonial. They have a council of ministers that the president leads that has the real power. So all of the African leaders have made it very easy for the coups to happen. So in as much as we're saying we condemn coups, we should also check these Yahoo boys we call leaders. Because across the African continent, there are a bunch of Yahoo boys that always think of themselves and not the interests of the people. Secondly, as regards the, what's it called? NSA.
Fact-finding mission.
That's very good. But Americans already know the facts of what's happening.
Bam.
There's been mass killings. I'm happy that Americans are on ground. We knew there was a fact-finding mission that was supported by someone that's been nominated as ambassador today. We know how that ended. But the truth has to be said. Where is the government going to show us those that are complicit in all of this? If the government cannot show us, then there's a level of complicity going on. Yesterday, they released 100 people. You release people from Niger. There are no killing of bandits. They are not bringing the bandits to book. The playbook is way too obvious now. That's why some people are saying, is this thing looking like collabo? They kidnap people. Till today, the government has not been able to tell us.
Bam.
Those that ordered the troops to leave the secondary school in Kebbi.
An investigation.
Investigation my foot. My investigation done. Investigation my foot. So they don't know who gave an order that troops should leave. And some minutes after, people came in there and picked up our girls. Now, about 100 of them came back. The NSA was even giving us updates that they are in good condition and everything. So why can't the NSA root out those criminal elements that took away the 100 people they've not released now? This thing is looking like collabo. And except we have that level of sincerity. So we are having all of this, and because the government is not standing tall.
I thought I had the producer saying I have 5 minutes, but I will try to, in cases, you know.
Is it trying to increase it?
Yeah, I may increase it, but it's close. Now, chapter 8 of the UN Charter, talks about preventing, forceful removal of legitimate governments, democratic governments, and regional groups coming together. Article 21 of the ECOWAS protocol retains that principle. Article 25, the ECOWAS protocol further explains that. So if you look at it, on the surface of it, my gut feeling as
massive one, Michael,
would be to say, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has acted reasonably. He has tried to respond very quickly. It was an emergency that was happening by the border, next door to Nigeria. Yeah. President Yayi Boni, who was the predecessor of Patrice Talon, used to refer to Republic of Benin as the 37th state of Nigeria. So, the president could say, Sunday morning, this has happened. Maybe there is some collateral damage that Nigeria may suffer. Let's quickly move in. But it was not just about impulsive reaction. We were told that the Republic of Benin made 2 requests. 1, that Nigeria should help secure the airspace. 2, that Nigeria should even send in ground troops to secure constitutional institutions in the Republic of Benin. So President Tinubu may have acted along this regard. Now ECOWAS says, we have deployed a standby force. That standby force, does this exist in reality? That standby force is not something you can call up in an emergency. Because to the best of my knowledge, I may be wrong, it's only Nigeria that went in there. And Nigeria is acting on the basis of the brotherly request by the Republic of Benin, which is just next door. While as an ordinary man, I think that that's nice for Nigeria to show that, yeah, we're the biggest country in West Africa. Yeah. We will not allow any nonsense. There is the legal aspect of it. Now, some people may say it's political, it's about survival, it's not legalist. But the Constitution of Nigeria is the basic law in Section 5. The president of Nigeria, if he sees that Nigeria is facing imminent attack, he is given powers to deploy troops. The subsections 4 and subsection 5 of that section 5 says he shall get the approval, the ratification of the National Assembly. Did the president seek the approval of the National Assembly, even if it was a weekend, Sunday morning emergency? Now, if you go to section 305 of the same constitution, under which the president of Nigeria as commander-in-chief can declare a state of emergency, sub 2, sub 3 will seem to explain that, look, the president also needs the concurrence of the National Defense Council and then that of the National Assembly. However, if he does not, if he acts without getting the approval of the National Assembly, the Constitution of Nigeria says within 14 days limit, he has to get the concurrence of the National Assembly, who will ratify that action. Now, a community reading of Section 5 and Section 305, sub 2, 3, will seem to tell us that the Constitution of Nigeria does not allow a situation where the president of Nigeria, even as commander-in-chief, can act unilaterally. And the whole idea is to prevent a dictatorship. Our Constitution is modeled after American
when is Abati resigning? This guy, in brain, they reverse. I'm sorry.
They may say, well, he consulted with the leadership of the National Assembly. He called people. He didn't act unilaterally. He needed to protect Nigeria and all of that, or respond to a brotherly request. He will have to, before 12 noon today, transmit a letter to the National Assembly to say that this is the action that I need the ratification of the National Assembly. That's what our law says. Then you may say this is not legalistic and all that, but we have to respect our Constitution. And then the National Assembly can be persuaded to say, well, okay, Nigerian troops are in Republic of Benin for this reason, for that reason, and it was an emergency. The president needed to act to prevent collateral damage. But I salute the Nigerian soldiers, the Air Force, the ground troops who went in there, clearly for one reason. It was a demonstration effect to send a signal to anybody, any ambitious person in Nigeria who may want to imitate what is happening, what has happened in Mali, Madagascar, Burkina Faso.
I beg you, Niger, Chad,
that the Nigerian.
I beg you, Lord, egbe owoto. Yes, Lord, egbe owoto. Abatiri egbe owoto. Avade Ejioma, you suppose don't retire by now. They talk in the reverse. I want to bota. No talo boria no meme. I beg you. Nonsense and concombility.
This is the afternoon of Monday, the 8th day of December, 2025. Someone called me. I don't know the person. He introduced himself to me as a serving Nigeria military officer. And he called me because he said he saw my video and he was reacting to the video I did recently about Tinubu committing a crime by sending troops, sending Nigerian fighter jet, bombing people in Benin Republic without the consent of the senators, without the consent of the rule of law. Tinubu is just doing on his own, taking orders from, other colonial powers like France, pleasing them, doing what they asked him to do. So he drew my attention to the first thing, this Major General. This Major General you are seeing on the screen, General Oba. Recently General Oba was ambushed.
Yes.
By ISWAP,
yes.
and his troop. They were ambushed, and he called, when his battery was remaining 30%, he called for rescue, he called the Nigerian military, he called the Air Force. And for his battery to even die from 30% to 0%, you would understand that that will take the period of 4 to 5 hours. Forget what they are telling you, okay? So this man was lamenting that no military helicopter, no Air Force was able to just respond to a general that is dying. No emergency response, nothing whatsoever. This military officer was lamenting bitterly, you know. As usual, I recorded a voice call because anytime you call me on WhatsApp, know that your call is on voice recording, because I do not play with information like this in case of necessity. So after talking about this, he started talking about the issue of kidnapped victims. And the military officer told me that even up to this moment, that the Christian Association of Nigeria are complaining that the federal government said they rescued 100 girls out of 300 and something. The 100 girls, they have not communicated. Nobody has seen them. Whether it is animal they rescued, they don't know. And up till now, no surveillance helicopter that is hovering over the places, surveilling where these girls are. How are they feeling? All those things. But you guess what? This man was not complaining that there was a fighter jet deployed, but he was complaining that Nigeria is also carrying out surveillance through helicopter in the Republic.
Now they hear? Guys, please double tap if you have not liked. Double tap the screen device to like. Now they see, huh? Imagine.
Now, the question is very simple. Don't think too much about this. What will make Tinubu to respond swiftly to a country that is not his? Like, he doesn't have even jurisdiction to act in that country. Even when the president of Cotonou was giving speech, he did not regard Tinubu. He did not even thank Nigeria, because they understand that there was a deal France struck with Tinubu. They understood that it was France that is pushing Tinubu, so they have to thank France for intervening. I'm coming. Now, when you look at the security situations in Nigeria, you understand how federal government are responding to it. You know, I used to tell you people that if Nigeria want to stop this insecurity, 1 week or 2 weeks, they will stop it. But this insecurity is not going to stop. You know why it's not going to stop? Because people who are sponsoring this insecurity are in the government. People who are sponsoring this insecurity are in the government. So there is no how it is going to end. Do you understand? There is no how it is going to end. Now, every now and then you are hearing attack. I reported and we tracked how these terrorists entered Nigeria at that time in Niger State. From Niger State to Kogi State, they have even gotten to Kogi State before police sent a wireless message that there were a very large number of terrorists in Kogi State bandits. That was after 2 days we reported their influence. So these people are operating in a safe haven. You understand? So, and the federal government of Nigeria, PC government, are giving them safe haven. They were abducting children in Niger State. I told them that, look at all the information I have. They said helicopter cars were used to kidnap children from school. They said, keep quiet, Okocha. Then after 2 days, AIT went there to interview teachers. The teachers said that, yes, there was a helicopter up there monitoring the kidnap of the school girls. So I am not here just trying to tell you some things that does not exist. I work on facts. So not only that, the Kwara State that was then, you know, before Benin Republic even shut their border between Nigeria and Kwara State, I was telling the helicopters were bringing weapons. So these people, if they can be flying this helicopter over Nigeria, a country that responds swiftly to Benin Republic, surveilling their country right now, if helicopters can be hovering around Nigeria, committing atrocities, committing crimes, Nigeria government are sponsoring the terrorists. No two ways about it. Nigeria government has 100% hand in every terrorist activities going on in Nigeria. The facts are there, the evidence are there. I can provide you 4 generals, defense intelligence agencies, former chief of army staff, 4 former chief of defense staffs. They were saying one thing. I have all of them, I have their clips. One thing, the government are colluding with the terrorists. Wow. I can provide for you 15 politicians, seasoned politicians, who have been to Aso Rock, who have been to everywhere. They complain that Tinubu is still paying terrorists through the office of the National Security Advisor. Sarah made a statement. Babadati Ahmed made a statement. Many people are making a statement. Does it concern Nigeria celebrities? Your influencers, does it concern them?
For where?
It doesn't concern them. They are just looking for a way to trend. But
Yes.
the issues, nobody is talking about.
Exactly.
But like you said, the law is the law. And President Tinubu has to actually follow what the law says in terms of what we, Nigeria, as a country have agreed upon in terms of domestication of treaties and the actual power that grants the authority to head of the executive branch of government in Nigeria to go to war with another country or any other is the National Assembly. And in this instance, you know that this is a coup. There could actually be a counter coup in Benin Republic this morning, and the military that may come on board would declare a war against Nigeria.
I'm telling you.
Act that we took. So it's very, very important for us to know that it's a very serious thing that was done. And as simplistic as it looks like, we have to follow the legality of the law. If not, it could be an impeachable offense against a sitting president, whether it's President Tinubu or any other one.
He ought to be impeached by
is
now.
Something that actually brings joy to us and shows that Nigeria can still exercise its powers as a big brother within the continent.
Big brother
but
fire.
within the ambit of the
Big
law.
brother
And in this instance, we've done very well by following the ECOWAS protocols. You see, other countries were called to deploy troops, but how many were eventually deployed? It was Nigeria that did that. But why don't we deploy that sort of weight into tackling the criminals, the bandits, the terrorists that the country, because that's what every Nigerian citizen waking up this morning is asking. If we have this power to tackle these coup plotters and restore legitimacy back to the government in Benin Republic, how come we are not using the same that the entire square meters of the Nigerian Federation is within the control of our armed forces, and we don't have anybody, troubling us in ungoverned spaces? Well, I really salute President Bola Tinubu's courage, because it takes courage for you to do that, and then a whole lot of organization. But ECOWAS needs to really, take a critical look at this and see how Nigeria will benefit from what we have done. Because, Dr. Abati, the major challenge I have with these West African countries, especially the Francophone countries, is that they don't give us our dues. Like you have said now, when it comes to voting Nigeria at the UN or other international organizations, you'll be surprised that Benin Republic will vote against us. They refuse to acknowledge what we did. I mean, President Patrice Talon did not even acknowledge President Tinubu's action, Nigeria's action. They will go and be supporting the French and other global powers, but they will be kicking against Nigeria's candidacies and all of that. So, well, these are the issues at stake.
They wanted Nigeria to burn if Buhari did not become president in 2015. I contested alongside Buhari for Senate. I contested for Senate in 2011. You have it on YouTube. He said, soaked in blood, the baboon and the... Ever since he made that comment, I refused to go and campaign with Buhari. Refused completely. It didn't matter if I lost the Senate seat. I won it eventually. Insecure for a former president to say, you soak in blood. And then there was, Kaduna is my state. There was serious violence in Kaduna. Many houses were burnt. Emir's houses in Ongwansarki, Demna Abba had their houses burnt and all that, simply because of a statement. They went and brought in people from those neighboring places in readiness to remove Jonathan by all means. So the desperation of people to get Jonathan out of power has built up and added to what we call insecurity in Nigeria today.
So you're inferring that all what we've seen over the last few years as insecurity is orchestrated.
Of course.
And it's political.
Of course. Last year around this time.
This narrative.
Last year around this time. Whatever I tell you, I'll try to give you evidence. Last year around this time, we were just negotiating the release of our own nephew. When he came out, what he said is not much different from what Nasir El-Rufai is saying. They complained that, and this young man is alive. He could come here tomorrow and you interview him. He's alive now in Zaria. He's alive. That, look, they're not making much money relying on these handouts from government. Each time they go out to operate, they make more money, like
hit us in the hand. We kept negotiating. He's alive and he can come to this and sit with you, Sharon Akimbaloyi, and you interview him. This is a fact. But my grudge with Nasiru's statements is that he was part and parcel of APC from 2013. Like he told you, he was one of the architects of it all. All of a sudden, to come and absolve himself and call others. No. Nasiru is part and parcel of all that has been going on. We suffered, we are victims of Nasiru's misrule in Zaria. Go back December 2015, when a war was supposed to have been won in the Northeast. What business, what military and strategic business did an army chief have to come to Zaria for a convocation, not of NDA, graduation of recruits, privates, choosing to follow the route where the Shiites were holding. All these things were orchestrated. They knew the exact hour, the exact minute that he was coming to pass, because they had the technology. And 800 people were killed because they wanted to raise down the temple that was built. These things were carefully doctored and orchestrated.
These are heavy allegations that you are making. And which one
they have
imagine? One will imagine someone of your status in the society. Yeah. Why are you just saying this? Why are you saying this? Does it amount to a political gimmick? Or no. What exactly are you up to with this?
Sharon, have you saying it? I said it in your own program. I mentioned the link about North Africa. In your own program, go back and check. Play the archives.
I don't know why Shehu had to ask that question. If Shehu was actually doing real journalism, he could have remembered that Ahmed Dati said this thing in his last program and he would have referenced it. Una no get journalists for Nigeria, oh. Cut and paste, join, brown envelope, all of them just sit down. They be like storytellers. You just talk, no questions, no pushback, no roll back the tape, nothing. Nothing. We move. I have more videos to play for you guys. Abemo na hold on. Hey! God forbid. Nigeria must divide though. There's no sugarcoating it. I beg. God forbid. Can you imagine? You now have children in the future. Those ones, they will now say, oh, they will now pet you people. Oh, let's try and be together as one. Let's be together. We live together peacefully. Then you are no longer there. They will come remove history. Then the children will come become a fodder for them. Abia they talk the English. They will come become fodder for them, right? They will come, they do as they like. They go forget, they go sell all the children, sell them, kobo. Abe mo wait oh, I dey bring video, mo na no vex. They'll come say, oh, your children don't know what's happening now. Those ones, they will not come. They will not tell them, you people, the Muslim and you people have lived together before. It was peaceful. They can't remove all the history. You are no longer there to tell your children the truth. Before you know it, they happen. Usman fold your work when they're not finished, when they try during your time, when they're not fit succeed, because you expose everything. They're not go there again. Hey, God forbid. May everybody go their own, no. Everybody go their own. Let's Mokuda continue to dey pass am on, no. I'm hearing different statements. Different statements they emerge. I beg, if you never like the video, like mona no vex, mona like, mona share, mona subscribe for me. I beg, I dey beg. Happy Monday to everybody. I saw this during the course of this day. Talon, the supposed president, when they be removed for Benin, He send emissaries. They say they send una country, Nigeria. Cannot be my, I don't know. What's Nigeria? Define Nigeria. They send them, make they go buy the people when they do the coup. They not see them buy, oh. They not see them buy. Okay. During the course of this day, wait till me today, Monday. This was 2 hours ago. Talon sent emissaries 3 times to negotiate with the insurgents. Lieutenant Tigri refused. Omo, it's not over. It is not over. Stay what? Stay informed. More to come. See, I saw this person's tweet, Uncle Ayo, that's what they call him. Says, Nigeria is going to get strategically ostracized from our African neighbors, and it will be unfortunate. Do you blame them? Do you blame me? I'm already ostracizing. You don't understand. Please, Burkina Bay here. Let's not get it twisted. My name na Aminata. Mona, not forget. I am already ostracized. Will I blame them? I cannot blame them. Nigerians are the real coons of Africa. Nigeria. Any surprise why slavery was so successful in Nigeria? Anybody having any surprise right now? Are you double asking yourself question now and saying we are not sure, we are sure? Are you pointing fingers? Please point no finger no more. Point to the guilty culprits. Any surprise why slavery was so successful? Okay, we move. So your fighter jets work. And terrorists have taken over entire states, collecting money, taxing the people before they can go to the farm. I mean, who goes ahead to bomb their business enterprise? I have already decided Nigeria will not stress me. na comedy na be for me right now. Comedy. Mona, listen to this. An hour ago, a military aircraft of the Nigerian Army in violation of the AES airspace, Burkina Faso, was immobilized. Immobilized. Sorry, guys. Immobilized today, December 8th, in Bobo Dioulasso for thorough investigations. 2 crew members and 9 soldiers were on board. They ain't playing with you people. Okay, now French they speak, and I not this sabi speak French again. To say now when I see my French still sharp back in the day, when we they carry first for French class, I for fee interpret to now, but not anymore. This is 2 hours ago. This is from Jackson Hinkle. Breaking: Benin coup leaders have still not been arrested or found. Let somebody shout power in the comment section. Say shout power. Okay. Even if you not shut at me, don't shut at for myself. Total security failure despite French Air Force surveillance, Nigeria airstrikes, and impending ECOWAS troop deployment. They not see them catch. An hour ago, anti-aircraft forces can now, AES alert, anti-aircraft forces can now shoot down any unauthorized aircraft in the AES airspace. A Nigerian plane forced to land, the one I read earlier, is stranded on the ground there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now,
la suite d'une situation.
Okay, it's French. Sorry. Mona no verse. Patrice Talon, an hour ago, has urgently left Benin to take refuge in where? In Nigeria. Hey! The struggle continues. Omo. Hey, Daniel Bwala don dey cry since. I don't know why. If una get the gist on that one for me, Mona, let me know. Aminata, Warrior MD, get it right. Aminata, please don't be. Nigerians, you people like to mispronounce other people's names if they don't come from within your geographical location. Get it right. Aminata. Okay, we say it with power. All right. Thank you for saying power, dear. Thank you, Warrior MD. You are really listening in class. It not be like Michael. I don't know where Michael did. You don't know to say wicked they wear white Islamic scarf. Omo, I not send Wiki. I know they see Wiki again. No, it does not exist in my timeline anymore. Of course, he go don't turn to Muslim now. Is that not what they do? That's what they do now. I won't be shocked. Eh? Only time I go use this religious. What happened? Who knows the gist between this guy and Boala? They've been dragging each other, throwing jabs one after the other. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, let's see.
For 2 years.
1 second, guys. I want to.
Habagana. Maga Boala.
Why did he come on a day that you were not around? That's a big question.
Boala. He came on the day I'm not around.
I was so disappointed about that.
You should come again. You
should
come again.
Because you guys have scores to settle.
Plenty. Boala my brother. They say for the ambassadorial list, they say they put some funny names for there.
Funny names, number one.
Oh my goodness.
Now the ambassadorial list, now these people, President Tinubu say make we wait for 2 years. Now these people, now President Tinubu say make we wait for 2 years. Now these people, the set of people wait and see for them. So I don't know. In fact, Undume talks say they put dead body. They put dead body. So President Tinubu say make we wait for dead body for ambassador list for 2 years.
Are you mind?
I put the mic here. And so President Tinubu say make we wait for dead body for 2 years. Then which other one happen again? So they say we've released. 100. So now government and bandits now they get arranged because we know the greasy arrest of bandits now release of people. So it be like saying I just they carry people now, kidnap people on holiday, they will go leave, they will come back.
NSA, they are doing well.
They are doing well.
They are okay. They are no harm. Who knows how they are feeling? They give them weekly reports on their body.
You know, say Nigeria and cruise every day. At the year, you know, say Nigeria. It is well. You get better. You know, say Nigerian and cruise will be say Matawale say they qualify for defense minister of state. As they make Matawale showing qualification, waiting make Matawale qualify. So is it Nigerian and cruise? In fact, one of my new mission this new year. Because I don't tire to shout. Now to start satire. Now satire I want to do now. Baba. Now satire I want to do now. What's in the happen? Yeah, let's who go and buy the drinks? Let's declare something. Let's declare.
Now I'm right there with what's the corner with Rufai. Now satire now going forward though. That's the way to cope with the news coming out of Nigeria. From right now, for those that may be offended when you come to my life and say, "Omoye, get serious." No more seriousness. I have to be mindful of my own mental health because it's the happen for Nigeria not normal. It's beyond normal. Do you understand? So it has to be satire and laugh. Again, I have removed myself. I don't even exist in that timeline of Nigeria. I don't exist. I'm serious. I'm Burkinabe. I'm from the country of upright men. Hear that word. Where ma talk and yeah. I come from a country of upright men. All this nyaga ziggy one at the show for a geographical location. I don't understand Nigerians. Oh my God, it's awful. My goodness. Oh my, it's like from a horror movie. How are you guys coping? Now satire get us now.
Not every time when I come here, I'm going to bring bad news. Good news, Nigerians. Now so, this is what we want. So, this early morning, today's date is the 8th of December, 2025. In the morning, around 9 a.m. this morning, our security forces, hey God, this one, but this fits me. They went to the forest of Sabon-Brini in Sokoto State. You know, I don't bring this report every time. Sabon-Brini.
The security forces, they launched operation in Sabon Brini, that local government. They went to the forest there. I can confirm to you that 7 bandits, 7 down, 7. Others flew, but 7 they down. Down, 7. The Nigerian army, may God bless you for this one. This is what we want. You never stop there. I'm not just stopping there. Yesterday, again, in the afternoon of yesterday, 2 p.m., around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, yesterday's date was the 7th of December, 2025. Bandits attacked Padamatara. This community is inside the Sabon-Biri local government area of Sokoto State. They came there in the afternoon to attack farmers that were working on their farm. But when they came, they thought it's the normal come and pick them and go. The farmers changed. They changed up for these bandits. They changed up for them. Immediately they arrived, not knowing that the farmers come out, they were like local with their local pew, they engage the bandits. Before you know, the vigilante men come support the farmers. Vigilante come hear gunshot, come rush, come support farmers. Because we 2 versus 1. Bandits, they ran away. But before they could flee, you know the story, before they could flee, 1 went down. One of their members went down. Now so, this is what we want. You know, anytime when this kind of thing come, what it is, oh, now so, you know the story. If they hide out, the English Alhaji, they bring them out. If they hide out, and they are active full time. Now so.
The master strategist no fit strategize again. Donald Trump don't make am soiling. I'm telling you. Now, Donald Trump fit enter. Guns are blazing. Nothing happen again. Nothing dey happen. They don't make room. I'm telling you, before I posted this behind the scenes lament, Amuneke don't beat all of us. I'm telling you, no, Amuneke go dey do him own. Me, I not sabi do that level of comedy. My own be say na laugh, I go dey laugh. My own na to bring her here, I go laugh. I go say, now wow, Nigerians, what's going on? I go dey speak English. I go try. I go also remind you, na say I be Burkina, Mona not confuse me. I beg.
Position of Mr. Peter Obi in this equation?
Mr. Peter Obi is a member of the Labour Party.
Is he going to run for the presidential race on the platform of the Labour Party?
He's going to declare where he's going to run. He made mention of
as of now,
he is a member.
Is it sufficient to say he's undecided or he seems confused where to go, whether to go to the left or to the right?
At the moment now, Mr. Peter Obi is being sorted for by 7 to 8 political parties. Do you see that he's confused? The point is here. The man is being the most popular candidate in the country at the moment.
So I remember also the PDP are asking him to come back.
That is to tell you, so would you now say that he belongs to PDP? No.
So he actually was out from that place also. So
he's starting from the place of
that might be a good place for him to also pitch his tent.
Well, if it's the best choice that all of them can coalesce, all of the political parties, remember, can end up joining the coalition. Do you know that? Because if you have an agreement on a candidate that you believe in, those political parties who believe in it can say, okay, since this is Peter Obi that we want, all of us can work together under the coalition. Then at that point, they can also decide this is the best vehicle that can lead us to that particular winning.
Now let's ask this. Do you think your principal, if he is not picked in a primary, he will submit and work with whoever emerges? Do you think it's about, if it is not me, it can never be any other person?
He has never said so. I always made sure that he said it to everybody, that I am not desperate to become the president.
That is just talk.
But then at the same time, he has also said that by so doing, I just want to see Nigeria work. And we as Obedient and many Nigerians are saying, you are the man.
So some people say, why would Mr. Peter Obi not support Atiku Abubakar?
We feel at this particular point in time, we have tested the old personalities and they have failed us woefully. We are looking for people who have energy, who have consistency in what they are saying, who have already connected with those who have neglected for a long period of time the Nigerian youth. And the Nigerian youth are saying, indifferent of their differences of religion, on tribal sentiment, this is the man they feel is going to be the right person to lead us. And they are going there.
Now, there is a southern
as the sitting president today.
Yeah.
If Mr. Peter Obi believes so well in the town of the South, why is it difficult for him to join force with the government of the day?
Fantastic. If the government of the day has performed above par, it couldn't have been calling for reinstatement in just 2 years of his tenure.
No, he started moving out even before the government of the day spent 6 months. Because he was consulting, which means he never even gave the government an opportunity to
because right from the beginning, he questioned the credibility of the present government, right from the beginning. And so he did not stop.
A
and what is
government that
expected,
won popular votes, Nigerians voted somebody in, and you are questioning the credibility?
we started questioning the credibility of even the contestants right even before the elections. And we're looking for government who represent the interests of the people. And we went ahead. We went ahead to question even the credibility of the announcement of the results of the elections. And we said it from day one because there were 2 elections that took place on that day. The 2 elections that took place on that day were that of the Federal House of Representatives and the Senate.
Very
and
useless, Warrior MD.
On that
Very,
day,
very
the results
useless.
and the voting took place on the same
Darita,
day. And the
welcome.
election result was simultaneously being released only for the Federal House of Representatives and Senate, and that of the president had glitches. So from day one, we had issues with.
I'm telling you, do you know till this very moment, these people are still looking to find out where that is their obsession. Where is Peter Obi? Matter of fact, the Bolaji from the ADC party, he now posted on their Twitter handle saying that if Peter Obi is waiting for someone to come and hand him the ticket, that's not going to happen. He needs to come, and the window for him to join ADC is closing. I'm like, let the door close, let the windows shut down, let everything shut down. Let's meet outside. Since Atiku dey there, make Amechi vice president now. No, vice presidential candidate. I don't understand. What is the obsession with Peter Obi? What is the obsession with him? Do your thing. You want to shut the window, close the door, man. We not send. We meet outside. We are conserving our energy. We know they shout too much. Anywhere Peter Obi go, we go. Do you understand? It's not paid for. Anywhere that man goes, everybody goes. Why are you people obsessed with who, when he's coming, which party is running? Why do you want to know? Since Atiku has joined ADC, no noise. In fact, the momentum don't crash. When Peter Obi, as much as just went to visit, like, let me just go and visit, everybody, vroom. Now so they rush. Even me, I rush, enter. Now, no, nothing I tell they play. When I say na time for her. Yes, and some people were upset that, why is Peter Obi saying, things that have not been put in order. He's just waiting for free ticket. Whatever you call it, I don't care. Call him free ticket, call him. If you want to win in election right now in Nigeria, Peter Obi is your golden eagle. If you not see that one, I can't help you. He's the one. He's the one that will guarantee you a win. Anything other than that is a waste of goddamn time. Look at it. Atiku don't join ADC. They say don't join. Una want lure, una be one use sense lure the man. When he enter, una can't use dollar rain. Take scatter the whole thing. Then they'll come. Never. Now the best we want. And again, Peter Obi has said it. Now who go fix Nigeria? Not be let's vote out this one. Rush like you people did and brought in a barbarian that will never rest well wherever he is. You people brought a barbarian to lay the foundation for this madness we are currently experiencing. We know they follow now do that one though. If you not like, make una no we are not interested. When our candidate is ready, everybody go feel am. It's that simple. Please. Mona see where una first lady take embarrass Adeleke. Ew, Oswan. Ew.
Bello Matawale, the Minister of State for Defense, is a criminal, a sponsor of banditry, a sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria. And such a person is serving as a Minister of State under the President Tinubu-led administration. You cannot say you are fighting insurgency, terrorism, banditry, and be harboring and romancing such people in your cabinet. It doesn't work. A house that is divided against itself cannot stand. You cannot be fighting a cause and be harboring the sponsors of that evil, of that mayhem in your government. And you expect to win. No, it doesn't work that way. Bello Matawale, the former governor of Zamfara State, a man that by standard should have no place in government. If you look at his academic CV, you will not want to give him a security job in your company. You will not want to give him a clerk, the job of a clerk in your company. Such a man served as a governor, and such a man is serving as a Minister of State for Defense under the President Tinubu-led administration. A man that is known to sponsor terrorism, sponsor banditry, causing mayhem. Do you know why? The reason is simple: to distract the attention of the populace from the partnership he has with people that are mining gold, mining and exporting gold in Zamfara State. Such a man is serving as a Minister of State. But don't take my word for it. You see, one of the things I've always said is, we will not sit down here and evil will keep prevailing. All in the name of, we don't want to talk, we don't want to offend, we don't want to offend you. You're a man of God. Remain quiet, don't talk, just keep praying. No, that is foolishness and hypocrisy. The more the more silent we are, the more these people gain power and authority. Such a man should be under investigation, should be locked up somewhere. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to share this video for you. You must have seen this video or not. It's in Hausa. Even if you don't understand Hausa, I'm going to share it with you. Even if you don't understand Hausa, just listen. Then I'm going to interpret and tell you everything the man is saying there. It's Malam Murtala Bello, an Islamic cleric that was making this expository, giving this expository fact on how he has discovered what he has discovered. Please listen to me. It will take just a few minutes. Please listen.
yayi inkarin abubuwan da ni yi magana na faɗi haru dole ni ce shahararren dan ta'addana yana da bindiga ta guda 500 hannu ne jami'an tsaro sun haka moshi ni faɗi an kai shi ofis ɗin lamur da kafa da hannu ne shi wannan karamin ministan tsaro ya buga waya yace an kama yaro ne a sake shi yace da bindiga sama da 500 ina maimaitawa na in ba ku ji ba ku ji maganganu na suna nan ni abin da nika cewa duk wanda ka jin an yi mai ƙarya ko an yi ba daidai ba kai Murtala Bello kotu in Murtala Bello bai kawo hujja ga magana ce ba a faɗa ma duniya ƙarya ta yake kuma wani kashe kowa kowa ƙarya don haka an ka ce to turu yaron ka ne faɗi yaro ne bashar yana nan rayu bai mutu ba hoto ne yanzu haka yana can lokacin lamar yana DIGFIB ya zo ya bada hoto ne ya rubuta takarda cewa ya amshe shi a madadin matawallin maradun wannan magana in akwai mai inkari ya fito ya inkari dama cewa mun kai barawo na abinda mun ka ce yana taimaka ma yan ta'adda kuma kai Bello Turji na san yayi zama da kai gidan gwamnati wallahi na san wanda ya dauko ka wallahi shi ya sadis din Bello Turji da kosto shi ya tashi da kai da ya zuba akwai wanda ya mai magana ya ce excellency bai kamata kai haka ba an haƙa ne kuma ya ɗiba kuɗi ya ba Bello Turji irin waɗannan maganganun ya kamata a yi inkari.
All right. Now, what this man has revealed in this video is nothing but the truth. And he was stating clearly there that if the governor, if Bello Matawale thinks he can sue him, let him come and sue him to court if you think he's wrong. What he was saying is simple. They caught a bandit, Bello Turji, with 500 rifles, guns. And he was able to mobilize, and he reported him to the police also. The police or the local vigilante, and they were able to, they arrested him. And they arrested him, and the Minister of State called. Bello Matawale called and said, please, they should release him, that the person they have arrested is his boy. He clearly stated it there that the person arrested is his boy, so they must release him and they should release him now. He went further to state that Bello Matawale was harboring Turji, the bandit, while he was governor, that he was living in his governor, in the government house. A bandit living in the government house with the governor. He spoke about how he bought him a car, he bought him a jeep. He bought him a jeep. He bought him, he bought him a house. Talks about one Badero also, another criminal, that he bought him a house
And it was when the people around that became angry, they invaded the house. They said, no, you cannot be doing this. This is a man that is serving as a public office holder in Nigeria, giving money, giving aid, sponsoring banditry in Nigeria. And we're all watching. We're all watching. The man Tinubu can't such a person and put him a minister of state. But this Islamic cleric is not the only person that has spoken about this. The present governor of Zamfara State has revealed several times that Bello Matawalle was a sponsor of banditry in Zamfara State. Not today. The man has said it countless times. See, when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are there, you cannot expect there not to be chaos. You cannot expect there not to be confusion and anarchy here and there. Such a man, the governor has exposed him several times, not once, not twice, on national TV to say Bello Matawalle is sponsored terrorism. Is the one behind it. They were the one that started it as a means of diverting the attention of people to be able to exploit the gold, the mineral resources in the state. Such a man is serving as a minister under the Tinubu-led administration. You can begin to now question the competency, the character, even the character of the Tinubu himself, the character of the president himself, that is carrying such a person to be within his cabinet. How do you win a war? Against insurgency, against banditry, against kidnapping, against insecurity. When the people that are facilitating this evil are there taking handshake, you are sipping tea with them. Bello Matawalle today is serving as Minister of State for Defense. And not just him, there's another Islamic cleric that has spoken about this, but said Bello Matawalle is a criminal. He is the one sponsoring banditry. The bandits are living with him they were living with him when he was governor, buying cars for them. Ammunition of over 500 rifles were caught to that. He had to give a call and say, leave him, he's my boy. Telling them to release it, stating clearly that he's my boy, Yaro Nani. When I burst Yaro Nani, he's my boy, leave him, he's my boy. And such a man is a minister under Tinubu. What are we doing in this nation? Who are we deceiving? Who are we deceiving? The Bible said, to thyself be true. You can deceive everybody, you can't deceive yourself. We cannot deceive ourselves. Banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, all these things can end in 1 month in Nigeria. 1 month. 1 month like this, 1 month. After all, the president that could not remove the log, the beam in his eyes, was swift to go and remove the stick in Benin yesterday, in Benin Republic. Where they launched precision airstrike. The precision airstrike they've not been able to launch on criminals here, on bandits, on terrorists in Nigeria. They were able to do that swiftly, acting on the order of the French president, the criminal Emmanuel Macron. The same thing. And such a man as Bello Matawalle is serving as a minister. Who are we deceiving that we are fighting insurgency? Who are we deceiving? They are fighting banditry. Who are we deceiving? You can deceive everybody, you can't deceive yourself. Such a man as Bello Matawalle, either the allegations are true or not, should first of all step down. Step down and be investigated. Step down and be locked up somewhere and be investigated. But no, he's still moving about. My only thing this morning is I want to plead with General Musa, the new General Christopher Musa. Please, sir, I'm begging you, are a regular combatant army officer with full integrity, competent in your job. Please, sir, ensure that by no means that man Matawalle have access to intelligence data, secret things that will not jeopardize your own mission. Nigeria is a criminal state, and until we begin to flush out and call out criminals like Bello Matawalle, we'll be wasting our time. Be careful, sir. There's a lot to do. Flush out these people. Ensure they don't get access to intels.
We will see what will happen. Kene, I see you. Welcome on board. Please don't forget to like as you make your way into the live. Thank you to those who have liked. Please continue to like the show. There's a quick update I wanted to give right here before I forget. So, where I do? Where? The Alliance of Sahel States, has accused a Nigerian military aircraft of violating its airspace, according to a statement broadcast on the evening news in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Tinubu don't carry Nigeria go where they don't know. This thing is looking like a mess already. Let's continue.
The terrorist is the Azovila.
The headquarters of Boko Haram is the same address of Tinubu. So if you post a letter to Tinubu, if it doesn't come out on time, Boko Haram will collect the letter and read it and pass it to him. They live together, they work together, they plan together, and they share together.
How do you mean that the headquarters, the address is at the villa?
Because the villa, the state house, is where all this criminality is being planned. If you deceive yourself and think that Nigerian army cannot defeat these terrorists, then you go to Nigerian army. Try and whistle at the wife of a general, and you see how the entire barrack will decide on you. Try and a home minister of the city could not collect 1 plot of land. You saw how that Navy captain stood his ground there, telling Wike, yes, you are not coming here. Imagine if every captain stood their ground and said terrorists don't enter Nigeria like that. If the armed forces strong enough to stop a minister who is representing the president from misbehaving on the land that he has interest, say, I have my orders. So are you telling me, if the president of Nigeria gives an order that the whole of Lagos State should be evacuated, the army in Lagos will evacuate everybody? If they give an order that the whole of Kano State should be evacuated, the army has enough capacity.
You remember him, right? Prince Adeshino.
The president made a proclamation.
Now they are opening their mouth and
the entire
talking.
government house was possibly evacuated in one day. So you are telling me that the president wants to end this thing, he will not end it. But their political money is tied to it.
No, too.
And if you think that maybe because I don't like them, which I don't pretend about that. Go and read the EFCC reports on what Jonathan did with the money he borrowed in the name of fighting Boko Haram. You are a journalist. You saw the trials. You saw the investigation. Who was collecting the money? The money was shared with politicians, girlfriends, contractors. Let's say we're even a nation of cripples. That sometimes in the past, there was no proper polio vaccination. And majority of Nigerians are crippled, we have no leg. We have enough resources to hire machinery to kill Boko Haram and terrorists and bandits. There is no negotiation with terrorists.
SDP, Tokumbo, thank you. Exactly.
And Bush terrorists having a conversation. So what you call negotiation is the discussion about sharing formula between the official terrorists who bring the money and the unofficial terrorists in whose name they are collecting the money. It's a racket. They are running a racket in front of you. There's a lot of money in government, and insecurity is one way to collect it without receipts. That's what they are doing. They're just scamming the Nigerians. There is no insecurity in the land that Nigerian armed forces and Nigerian police cannot get rid of under a good presidential system, under a good presidency. They will get rid of it. What they are doing is just scamming you. Just that they are constructing roads to nowhere. They are building on bridges that will never finish. There are a lot of projects in this time. So they found out that all other projects, you ask them, where is the road? Where is the bridge? Where is the school? But if they inundate you with insecurity, you cannot, and they say they have rescued 500 children, and the 500 billion is gone. You cannot ask for receipts.
Bam.
If they are in the bushes, exchanging food and drinks with terrorists, I'll tell you that they are
He did not lie, Tokumbo. Mr. Tokumbo, he did not.
That's why every president will tell you, I will finish them. But when it comes in, they finish him with money. And they feel, okay, this is an easy way to raise money for
Welcome, Jesus Christ, Omolong.
That is why Nigeria has, in the world of hotel business, Nigeria has the highest number of military generals owning hotels, estates, and everything. For the salary of how much? How many of the terrorists are well? They have telephone numbers of governors.
Bam.
And every commissioner of police in the state has the telephone number of terrorists in that state.
Telling you, it's good. Everybody is speaking the truth. That's the only way. That is the only way that we can move forward and become a better. Listen, as I did so, divide the country. Let's not pretend. We're different people. Let the North go and enjoy their Sharia and Hizbah and 7 virgins when they buy. Please, divide it. I beg. Hey. Because these people now forever fight.
Help from Donald.
Listen,
the Nigerian armed forces are being offered help from Donald Trump. So difficult are they finding it to protect their own people from ISIS and its chapter there, Boko Haram. So the Nigerian military can be spared to go and attack their neighbor, but they can't keep peace and stop ISIS in their own country. What kind of president is that?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, Tinubu has very long-standing ties in the United States. Max Blumenthal and David Hundeyin, who's the latter is a Nigerian journalist, very famous, did a brilliant piece on Tinubu in the Gray Zone. Everyone should read it, about Tinubu's ties to cocaine trafficking networks in Chicago in his earlier years. So this is the type of guy that we're dealing with, in bed with the CIA, in bed with all these drug narco trafficking units. But of course, the West backs up the real narco terrorists like Tinubu, who, as you point out, are ignoring, I would say, the assault on their sovereignty by Western-backed terrorists like Boko Haram. Also now, JNIM, another terrorist organization linked with Al-Qaeda, has also entered into Nigeria. They have been causing a lot of chaos in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger the past few years. And what is the goal here? Well, the goal is to try and take as many of the resource-rich regions in these countries, in particular in Nigeria, and the U.S. will cry foul. They'll say that Christians are being genocided, even though Christians and Muslims are being killed in both very high rates. Actually, far more Muslims are being killed than Christians in Nigeria. And then Eric Prince or some other private military contractor will get to send in their mercenaries to Nigeria, and they will take up all of the resource-rich land, the mineral-rich land, the gold-rich land in Nigeria, and illegally steal all of the resources. As for the question of why can't he do anything about this threat in his own country, in Nigeria, but he launches all these airstrikes or these planes in Benin the moment there's a coup, there's a simple answer for that. President Macron of France gave a call to Tinubu today under the guise that there was a new offensive led by the Boko Haram terrorists in Nigeria. He made an emergency call, and apparently it wasn't about Boko Haram, because if it was, I'd imagine those fighter jets would have been used to do targeted airstrikes, hopefully on the terrorists, but instead they were used to go into violate the sovereign airspace of Benin and presumably strike the coup leaders.
Now, as you mentioned, Marco Rubio and his administration are again steaming towards Venezuela. The Dwight D. Eisenhower aircraft carrier has withdrawn from port in the last few hours and begun steaming towards the Caribbean. The shills of Marco Rubio are trumpeting that it's on, that Operation Southern Spear against Venezuela is on. Is that your take, and what's likely to happen next?
Well, I'll just say it's incredible. Laura Logan, who is a Trump insider, very close with all the Trump administration bigwigs, is, as you just said, tweeting out that Operation Southern Spear is on. This U.S. Illegal war that they've been drumming up for months now, or 7-8 weeks now at least. And tomorrow in Caracas, I believe, because what is today? Is today the 7th or the 8th? So it's on the 9th and the 10th, we're going to see about 5,000 to 6,000 from all across the world standing in unison with the Venezuelan people travel to Caracas and participate in 2 days of major events to try and voice their opposition for this illegal war, which is a total sham if it's being under the guise of combating narco-terrorism for many reasons, but of course the biggest and most recent reason of all is Trump just pardoned Juan Hernandez, the former president of Honduras, who is sitting in a U.S. prison cell for the next 45 years as a result of his involvement and directing of a massive narco network out of Honduras while he was president. So I can't believe that they would begin this operation right now at a time when 5,000 to 6,000 people from all across the world are going to be there. I wish I was there with all of them right now. I wish I was in Caracas. I know we have some mutual friends that are there. And all I got to say is I'm praying for everyone's safety, the Venezuelans and those who are traveling there in defiance of the U.S. war hawks.
Well, that's two big enchiladas. Let's go to the biggest of the enchiladas, the current state of affairs in the NATO-Russia war.
Okay, let's move it forward. That's about the only part I wanted us to hear. You know, as they describe our president. Try how not to allow that kind of man enter. I don't understand why not allow him. Wetin happen? You know, because I'm very close to Nigerians, this thing hurt me. It hurt me specially. Why not allow this kind of thing happen? Nigeria, why not? Kene, Kene, why? Michael, what happened there? Warrior MD, what happened? Why did you guys allow this to happen? This is so embarrassing. Oh my goodness. I feel my heart goes out to all my good Nigerian friends. You know, Nigerians are the greatest people ever, you know. No, the two. Let's start with two. Let the North go. Then middle belt. Because middle belt, I'm sure they want to be on their own or they want to join the South. I don't know. But if they do, then that would be awesome. Let's just split it in half. Let the North go. Then we can talk about regionalism amongst the rest of us. If we want to still have some type of a relationship going, we can decide on regionalism, you know, but the North has to go. Their way does not match the way of everybody else. I'm sorry. No. They always look for a way to infiltrate. Nah, we can't be having that. We cannot continuously be at war every time. Fight. No. I beg. For me, this is what my own opinion is. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you, Kenny. So basically, waiting Matawale no one share with Nigerians, America could come take them from them. I'm telling you, MU. Narima Nakorubio. If I ask you now who you go ask, okay. You don't throw my question back at me. Now me get that song. When I don't see this video,
Make sure that she is charged and have the amount of rounds that I want in her before I go to bed.
Anyway, you guys know.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the first president to use the military to defend and protect another country. Meanwhile, terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers, they do dirty December for his own country. A round of applause, Your Excellency. So can we now agree, say that the only reason why terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and insecurity no go end for Nigeria is not because Nigeria military does not have capacity to end it. The only reason why terrorism no go end for Nigeria is because the real terrorists are in government. Can we now agree that Nigeria military have the capacity, but it is the political will and the politicians that are the problem of Nigeria? So Nigerian president order military to go Benin Republic. They say coup won't happen for them. They go there, they use fighter jets on air and on land to defend the country. The tweet where they even pain me past now, the one where President Tinubu put out, he said earlier today on my orders, the Nigerian armed forces stood gallantly in defense and protection of constitutional order in Benin Republic. Shame on you, Nigerian leadership. Shame on you, Nigerian government. President Tinubu, imagine say that tweet be read, say, on my orders as Nigeria's president, I have ordered and the
Department of National Intelligence have released the names of all sponsors of terrorism. And on my orders, the Nigerian Armed Forces is carrying out an air campaign against every hideout of terrorists in Nigeria. They will be met with untold fire and unprecedented power of the Nigerian military. Imagine what that kind of tweet would have read. Imagine the happiness when Nigerians for use and they do. But you say, no, you are defending following an ECOWAS treaty on your this thing. They have gone to defend this thing in public. Ori buruku leshe Nigerian government. Ori buruku leshe. And the thing we go destroy APC before corruption and criminality is hypocrisy. The same by your Nonuga will be the running mouth. And Nigerians are calling on foreign this thing to come and intervene. We shall not forget. So it's good for una to go and intervene in a foreign country. But Nigerians cannot call on America to help them when killings they happen like saying a killings festival with Nigeria. They said that the Benin Republic, they made the first request, the second request, and you sent military without approval of National Assembly. But Nigerians cannot call on another government. Now only when I get ECOWAS treaty, we will have no United Nations treaty to call on a foreign intervention to help us to end insecurity. Ori buruku leshe. Ori buruku leshe Nigerian government. That is why Minister for Defense, the one where don't come out, he said that some terrorists they are in the bush where they say bombs cannot reach there. Bombs not fit reach there, but bombs fit reach Benin Republic to restore constitutional order. The time when coup happened for Niger, National Assembly said no, there should be no military intervention. What is the difference between Niger and Benin Republic? Why we not go Niger but we go Benin Republic? Oshileshe. Now when I self when they deceive. All this one when they do, when I know how to save democracy for Benin. But Benin Republic, according to their own constitution, presidential term limit is 5 years. Under this president, Patrice Talon, they don't convert them, amend them to become 7 years. When I not like military coup, but civilians go they do civilian coup against democracy. When I not go see that one until when petrol jam fire, everybody go start to shout, no, because French presidents don't call. That thing when they hide for France, one day Nigerians go no. One day Nigerians go no. But Mr. President, make una not forget, say election riggers are also coup plotters. Election rigging is a coup against democracy. So the same way when they fight coup for other countries or military coup anywhere, now so make una get the same energy to fight against rigging of election. No, not be say una no want military take over, but una go they plan to the rig election. Ori buruku ni oshini. The same way when you don't order, Mr. President, make the restore order to another country. KB state governor for your state, he talks say before terrorists go pack children for KB state, somebody gave order for military to withdraw from the school. Mr. President, can you also on your orders find out who gave the orders? Who ordered military and security to come out from school before they go kidnap the children? And how were they recovered? Was a ransom paid? Mr. President, what is good for the Geese is good for the Benin people. What is good for the Benin should be good for the Owina people. Mr. President, if we not fit answer this question and we they claim to protect another country and leave our own home on fire, Ori buruku niyo, Mr. President, Nigerians, when I don't see and finish, it is not the military, it is not because we do not have capacity to end it. It is because what you are dealing with is part of the governance structure. And until you weed out the terrorist financiers and supporters in government, Nigeria is just playing. We dey whine ourselves, we dey deceive ourselves. Congratulations, Mr. President, on restoring order to Benin Republic. We hope when we as Nigerians also call for foreign intervention to help us when as you fail to protect us, it not go be problem because not be only ECOWAS treaty day, United Nations self get treaty, make them save our lives and end the killings, the needless shedding of blood in Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. My name is Peter for Nigeria.
He said it all, nothing to add. You don't talk and finish.
Coup attempts signify in terms of the general trend of government overthrows in Africa lately?
I think
I know, right,
Kenny? The trend
very
is
coherent.
slowing down. The trend toward what some people refer to as sovereignism, where even though
he's able to squeeze in so many gems within and without taking I mean, I don't know how he does it. Kudos to him, man.
we don't have a very clear picture of what exactly this particular coup attempt set out to accomplish, but based on the little fragments of information that have come out, it is clear that they seem to be of the opinion that the perceived influence of France, the perceived neo-colonial influence of France over the affairs of Benin was something that this coup was meant to fix, so to speak. So it's clear that the wave of, if you like, if you call it national, if you call it anti-colonialism, if you call it sovereignism, if you call it Pan-Africanism, whatever you call it, that wave is actually not slowing down anytime soon. And the reason it's significant that this has happened in Benin is that this is a country that has traditionally been a very strong partner of France in the West African sub-region. So for it to happen here, of all places, then, even though it would seem now the authorities claim that this coup attempt has been put down and the situation supposedly has returned to normal, what that does signify is that if it can happen in somewhere that the French would have thought that they had locked down, such as Benin, then what's to say that it's not going to happen in Cote d'Ivoire or in Gabon or in Senegal or in Congo Republic? There's really nothing to say. So I think that's the most significant thing to take away from this, that regardless of whether this has succeeded or not, it certainly looks at this point like it has not succeeded, but that regardless of that being the case, the underlying issues that led to this coup will lead to other coups. This is not something that we have heard the last of by any means.
Right now, why do you think Nigeria and ECOWAS forces decided to enter Benin to help the government from the reports we're getting lately?
Help the government is a very interesting way of putting it, because at the point where the Nigerian military made its entry into the fray, it was very unclear exactly what the government of Benin was at that time. And it's also very clear that the message that was put out by the French President Emmanuel Macron earlier today, the timing of the message where he said that he spoke to the Nigerian president, basically signaled to everybody that essentially a geopolitical instruction was delivered from Paris to Abuja that under no circumstances must this coup be allowed to succeed. This has happened before, as recently as 2 years ago in Niger, where something very similar happened. Some very similar noises were made. At that time, the actual military invasion from Nigeria didn't end up materializing, even though the Nigerian president tried his best to make it materialize to the point of actually circumventing the National Assembly and trying to launch airstrikes illegally in the sovereign territory of another country without Senate approval, which is against Nigerian law. This time around, it seems like the exact playbook that was meant to be followed in 2023 has been followed to the letter. This time around, before the intention even became public, these actions had already been carried out, right? These mobilizations had already been carried out. So by the time Macron came out with a statement, by the time the Nigerian authorities came out with their various statements, this was already done. They had already. So what this signifies to me is that, putting ECOWAS aside for a second, the Nigerian government and the Nigerian military specifically has a very new type of relationship with the French government. The type of relationship that maybe you would expect the likes of Cote d'Ivoire or Senegal to have had. And why that is significant, to my eyes, is that Nigeria was not colonized by the French. Nigeria is not an ex-colony of France. Nigeria traditionally has had some sort of firewall in its relations with France, but where since 2023, when the new Nigerian president came in, Bola Tinubu, it seems as if that firewall has been taken down, and the sort of outsized influence that the likes of the US and UK have had in Nigeria in decades past, France appears to be building up that sort of influence in Nigeria now, which is unprecedented and perhaps signifies a new geopolitical approach to maintaining French influence in West Africa, or perhaps in Africa, where France is no longer apparently seeking to just partner with its former colonies, but is actually actively seeking to expand its sphere of influence even to the Anglophone region. And then the eventual entry of ECOWAS into the fray, where they put out that statement, which you referenced earlier, I think that is essentially a rubber stamp on a decision that has already been made primarily in Paris, that any coup that has as one of its stated goals the removal of French influence or European influence from West Africa, that coup regime must not stand. And this is not just me saying this. Barely a week ago, we had a supposed coup in Guinea-Bissau, which did not by any means generate any of this reaction. Guinea-Bissau is also in West Africa. It's also an ECOWAS member state. And there was none of this reaction. There was none of these frenzied statements. There was no military reaction, nothing of the sort. And the coup was actually allowed to stand because that was a different type of coup. That was a coup that preserved status quo, the neo-colonial status quo. This was a coup that threatened it. And clearly the geopolitical instruction from Paris is under no circumstances must this be allowed to stand. So using first and foremost Nigerian military power now, which is a new dimension, in West African public relations, where we don't know how it is going to end, and then using ECOWAS as a sort of geopolitical rubber stamp after the fact to give the decision that was made in Paris a veneer of local acceptability.
All right, now, can you help break it down for us? What interest might France hold in Benin? Why are they so eager to support the current president?
Well, there are a number of reasons, but primarily why Benin has become so important, especially since 2023, is that Benin is one of the very few countries it's a coastal West African state. It's an ECOWAS member state, but also has two borders with two of the Sahelian alliance states. So it has borders with Burkina Faso and with Niger, extensive borders as well. So essentially, the outsized influence of France in Benin gives France the capacity to, at the very least, monitor those countries. And we've seen this practically. It's been reported extensively how surveillance flights being run by the French Air Force have been, used Benin as essentially a de facto French base for surveillance of the Sahelian alliance, right? And then I believe the authorities in Burkina Faso have complained on a number of occasions that terror attacks that vector in from the southern border of Burkina Faso with Benin, it always seems to happen very strangely, that where it's been confirmed that there's a French base less than 50 kilometers from the Beninese border with Burkina Faso, and that seems to be the exact general location where these terrorists always seem to come out from, carry out an attack in Burkina Faso, and go back across the border. If you recall, there was actually a huge diplomatic dispute between Benin and the AES. For the longest time, the Nigerian border with Benin was actually closed because of these security concerns. So my reading of the situation is, and well not just my reading, the reading of several people who have knowledge of this situation, France has essentially used Benin since 2022 or 2023 as a de facto staging point for whatever geopolitical or military aspirations it has in the Sahel now that it has lost influence there. So if Benin were to fall to what France considers to be the same forces that are active in the Sahel, that would essentially mean that not only has France lost a major vector point into the AES, a major attack, potential attack route, but also that the AES would have been given a point for the first time, because that is one of the strategic weaknesses of the AES, that is fully landlocked and is dependent on relationships with countries like Togo and Ghana for access to the ocean. If Benin were to fall, then the AES automatically has one of the busiest ports in West Africa, which changes the entire dynamic completely. So from a French point of view, it's easy to see why it was important that this could not be allowed to succeed. The AES must remain sort of isolated, in the artificially isolated way that it has become, and Benin must remain a de facto French staging point. Now, how long that is going to last after this, nobody knows, but we'll see.
All right. Now, Benin's president has not made an address to the nation yet. What do you think is going on there? Why the radio? Why are they silent?
Again, I think the situation is still a bit fluid. Based on the fact that there were airstrikes, I think it's fair to say that if the situation was already settled fully and the coup had failed decisively, there wouldn't have been any need for something as, or for the use of, overwhelming force like airstrikes. So obviously, I must state that this is sort of unconfirmed reporting, but the reporting that I have had access to from the ground states that some of the military barracks where the coup, the personnel involved in the coup have apparently been pulled out, where the buildings that were targeted in these airstrikes. So if that were to be the case, then it's clear that this issue has not been solved decisively. Even if the majority of the country supposedly is back under the control of the status quo, there still exists some pockets of resistance that are yet to be put down. Clearly, there is at least a fraction of the Beninese military which is not on board with the return to the status quo. That is very evident. So I would imagine that they're basically waiting to see how this is going to play. I don't think we've heard the last of the sort of airstrikes or military deployments or any of that sort of thing. I think going into tomorrow, there's still going to be more of that activity. I don't think this has been settled just yet. So I think that's what this is. They're probably mopping up and waiting to see how this is going to fully play out before they eventually reappear and do the victory dance that we expect them to do.
All right. We have to leave it here now. David Hundeyin, investigative journalist, thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you for having me.
You guys get the robust gist, right? So those videos that are coming out, it's still unresolved. So there's a possibility. Matter of fact, there's a faction of the military that have joined now. They've joined in the fight. Let me see if I can pull up that video and then I'll come back down. Hold on one second. So there was this video was circulating yesterday. Apparently it's an old video. They re-released it to try and manipulate the public to think that everything is now under control. That was a lie. So if you've seen this video, just know that it's all part of the propaganda to create a public perception of being in charge, which is not true. Now, so here, new faction of the Beninese military have joined the coup against the President Talon. Okay, so let's see if we are French. Okay, now French. Sorry, guys. Sorry. My secondary school French, I don't remember. All right, so that's basically what the latest update is. All right, on that. Okay, no, let's move forward just now.
Arrogance of the North over this insecurity is annoying me, seriously. How do you blame the whole country for the problem you created? Where is this thing coming from? This insecurity. Who are the bandits, the terrorists? Where are they mostly from? Is it not from the North? Instead of the North to find a way to stop a problem they created, they are trying to use it to blackmail all of us.
Guys, please help me to double tap the screen device if you haven't already. To those that have liked, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But please continue to double tap the screen device if you haven't liked already, or click on the 3 dots on the right hand corner. You see like, share, subscribe. Please continue to help me double tap if you haven't already done so. Thank you.
It's very sad, seriously. I don't see why the North should be making noise over this issue. The very problem they created. We were here when their leaders came out and told us how they brought these people into Nigeria. And the North didn't deem it fit to say, we are sorry for what we have done. We are sorry for bringing this problem to Nigeria. Rather, keep blackmailing you and I and see we are the cause of the problem. And we did not find it fit to even give it back to them. The type of politics we play in the South, I don't like it seriously. Because if this thing we are coming from the South here, I know what the North would have done. I know what they would have done. Ordinary alcohol that Obi went to import. They said because he imported alcohol, that the Muslim North will not vote for him because they don't drink alcohol. Can you just imagine? But you that brought terrorism into Nigeria, and we have been suffering of this for 15 years now, you are not ashamed for what you have done. You are not even apologizing to us. Every time you be making noise, if you don't solve insecurity. Who created insecurity? When Jonathan wanted to stop it, it was this same you not that was writing letter, writing everything. You want to kill the North. You want to do this. You were writing memo to international community. Why is it that the North always use this security to blackmail all of us? And nobody can give it back to them from the South here. Who brought this problem into Nigeria? Is it not the North? Is it not the North, for God's sake? Why are we not calling a spade here? Okay. Let us stop that thing, please. It annoys me. Let them stop it. Let them face their leaders over there. Let them face their leaders and stop insulting our intelligence. Why should they be talking like that?
Hold on. Okay. Let's see. I think we already.
Criminal is
okay. No, this is not it. Oh.
Like a partner should be allowed to go freely. Only the escort of the.
There's a video I want us to see before I play this one. Okay. Okay.
All-knowing. The attributes of God should be that God is all-knowing.
Yeah.
That God is almighty.
Yeah.
That God is all-knowledgeable.
Yeah.
That means nothing can take God by surprise. That God knows everything. So why is it that in Islam, when you are praying, you must pray in Arabic? You cannot pray in another language. Even if you sin in English, you cannot confess your sin in English. Yeah. You must confess in Arabic. So it looks like the Islamic God is localized to one language only, and he doesn't hear other languages.
Something that I use normally to see local Arabian God is colonizing our African people. Whatever you did,
yes,
sin, or you want to serve God, you have to serve him in Arabic.
Yeah.
If you did this 5 times prayer daily that they are doing, you don't know how to read Arabic or to you cannot do it. You don't know how to.
Yes.
You have to stay.
So you can't tell God how you feel.
Yes.
There's a prayer you must recite.
Yeah.
What of that stone in Mecca where they kiss? And they say that stone came from paradise.
That Hajar al-Aswad.
Yes.
They say the Hajar al-Aswad came from paradise. I don't know. Quran say that if you enter paradise, you cannot come out. But I don't know where. The person that took that stone, he come out. I don't know why. Why?
So he went to paradise and brought it out.
Yes, he brought it out.
But the Quran says you cannot go to paradise and come out. So how did that stone come out of paradise?
I don't know.
That's a contradiction. And then another thing is, since God is omnipotent,
yeah,
God is everywhere.
Yeah.
God sees everything.
Yeah.
That is why he is God.
Yeah.
But why is it that in Islam, when they pray, you have to face a particular direction?
This is colonization of Arabian people. This is a system of colonization with the religion. They come with the religion and they put it. Even if you are in Mecca, you must face that particular place. What is inside that particular place?
What if you are trying to face it and you don't know geography, you face another place?
But the prayer is not accepted.
So that God is not everywhere.
Yeah, he's in Mecca.
Then that cannot be God. Because God should be everywhere. God should know everything. God should see the end from the beginning.
Quran say, "Paliya abudu rabba hazal bayt." Serve the God of this room.
Of the VIPs. So that people like Akpabio should be allowed to go freely. Let's see. See, you will let expose this man to the insecurity that we are talking about. And the same people, the senator you were talking about today, were there when person like Sheikh Gumi was calling for amnesty for people who kill us. You came to my village, you destroyed my house, you took over my land, you raped our women, and you should be compensated. Sheikh Gumi should be arrested. People who are advocating for amnesty for killers and rapers of our men should be arrested. Just recently in Kaba, in Kogi State, my state there, you look at what herdsmen did in that town, you look at the peaceful people worshiping in their church, and then they came and ambushed them, killed some of them, and you are telling me to call those people to give them amnesty. God will judge some of these people in Nigeria. See, if I want Donald Trump to continue hammering on Nigeria, it will put us on our toes. Listen to this, Mr. Steve. One of the problems we have is because our politician doesn't have a means to hold them accountable. So they therefore misbehave and go scot-free. But now we're having Trump to hold them accountable. And we like it like that. Let there be somebody to checkmate their excesses. And the excesses of Nigerian politicians have been
unchecked over the years. For the first time, that we have somebody that is taking the bull by the horn, and we welcome it and let them continue, so that President Tinubu will start checkmating all the people around him. Those he's supposed to sack, those he's supposed to release of their duty. 2027 is 2 years ahead. It is not yet time. President Tinubu have a long time to put the country on the right path, and he should continue on that path, not on the path of the politician and political rhetoric.
Embassy. Don't rush me, I beg. Let me repeat myself. Pastor Chris is actually the God of Christ Embassy, my Lord. Isn't that obvious? Only the blind won't see it. Yes, this Pastor Chris wants to share God's glory with him so badly. My God, you carry crown, you crown yourself. You carry cape, you wear cape like superhero. You carry grown men and you put wings. You put wings on grown men to pretend like angels. My God, what a clown show. These men are so childish. Playing dress up like 2-year-old children. My God. The reason why these men have time for all this mess to be playing dress up is because they are not called or sent by our Lord Jesus. Or the new man of God that is called and sent by our Lord Jesus won't have time for this mess. This childish show won't have time for it. He will be out there sounding the alarm, preparing souls for the second coming of Christ. Repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. These men have gathered earthly riches to themselves. Let them enjoy it. Let them enjoy the earthly riches they have gathered for themselves, because they have eternity to spend in hell. Listen to me. Let them enjoy their earthly riches they have gathered for themselves. They have eternity to spend in hell with their father, the devil. And they are taking you blind members with them, because you choose to be loyal to them instead of your loyalty to be to our Lord Jesus. You choose to worship them instead of you worshiping our Lord Jesus.
Okay, we get the gist of that. Sorry, I didn't even mean to play that for you guys. Oh. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up for now, because I have to scoot over to other things. But you know what? I'm going to come back later on in the day so that we can talk about it some more. I'm sure that there are more things that are going to, as they say, could never finish for Benin. I don't know. Oh! Also, this is where we are now in Nigeria. Thanks to Tulumbu. We don't know where Tulumbu they carry us go. Tulumbu they carry us go where we don't know, my people. Tulumbu is taking us where we don't know. And everybody is just looking, folding hand. Tulumbu is about to drag everybody with, hey, God, I beg. Anyway, make we leave am here for now. We'll come back, come talk the matter. Let me go through the comments really quickly. Yeah, una don chat plenty. The problem is that France doesn't respect any of these African countries to even pretend to have changeovers. I'm telling you, they get their puppets in and want that puppet to stay forever. I'm telling you. I'm sure they will be begging Tinubu to do the same in Nigeria. That's exactly because you know it's enough happen for Nigeria. Our mouth too sharp. We no go fit. Tinubu already is getting the hot. You know, see as everything don't blow up for him face. Those terrorists, allegedly, now him be one you say win election 2027. Everything don't blow up for him. You see as they pet them. If you notice, you see the move. Prince Adesina don't take and finish now. The terrorists, they white hat. They Aso Rock. Nigeria in their country will definitely piece most of the military to fight. Exactly. You see now, factions are now breaking up and going with the people that want to plan coup. You see my former mistress from JS2 to 3, now our French mistress, and I was actively dodging that lady because even though I did carry first for her class, at best now pass mark 50 to 55 I did get. I hope the other Sahel countries back together and protect the others in the region. If Nigeria is not careful, we'll have bigger problem on our hands with the only one stand. I'm telling you, Warrior MD, you know. Tinubu don't start waiting. I'm not sure say go fit. He didn't the backlash that he's getting right now. I don't know what he thought. They do like emperor. Again, the foolish journalists refused to play. Yeah, they refused to play the video stating we brought the. They know they They go say, can you prove that? It's very annoying. I don't watch Nigerian news because it's annoying. Welcome, Omavi. I wish they would bring one of the radical Islam clerics to explain all this. Gumi, you mean Gumi? The tape of them confessing they brought the terroristic Fulanis into Nigeria, don't develop mucus. Go squeeze if they try to play it. Oh my God. Unfortunately, you still believing you have a Lord called Jesus is no different. You know, as a carry Yakilome, like emperor. Hey, we have emperors in Nigeria. Apart from the fact that Tinubu's wife is an empress herself, we now get small emperors. Anyway, my people, let's end it here for now. Let's what's it called? Dock the boat for now, or dock the ship, or how they say it. We'll come talk the rest later. Thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. Thanks to those who have liked. Thanks to those who have shared, subscribed. Thank you very much. As you continue to step outside, I beg they increase the like. If you never like, press that like button as you go outside, like a gift to me. Thank you so much. Dock away. Oh, God bless you. Now go school now. Better school. So yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.